Good evening, everybody, and it looks like the stream is lagging just a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna kind of roll with it because today is going to be an absolute hype of a stream. I am so excited for tonight, just because we don't get opportunities like this every single week to have an event coming up very soon. I saw Angry Canadian was asking in the chat, when is BRICKWORLD? Well, that is actually this week. Oh, I'm so glad you noticed, Angry Canadian. This is a new shirt. I'll give a 360 in a little bit, just kind of warm everyone up to today's podcast, because in a little bit I'll have Richie from OurToyWorld jump on. He's waiting patiently for me to stop talking so we can get into the deets about what he's doing over at his channel and also what might be going on at BRICKWORLD this year. So that being said, yes, the new shirt. This is a polo I ordered a couple, honestly at this point, I may have had this thing for a month or a month and a half at this point, just because I've been waiting. I've been in the shadows waiting for the right time to show this to the world, to all you. So this is the shirt that I'll be wearing for now, at least, planning to be wearing it for both public days, so kind of easily recognizable. People can pick me out in a crowd, know who I am, know what channel I belong to, essentially. So right here, we've got the new-ish CPA logo. I kind of wanted to get rid of the term Lego, just because I know that's kind of a no-no in the community, specifically with Lego. Obviously, they don't like their own name out there that's not associated with specifically them. So I figured I should stick with CPA, and you've certainly seen this in various places, updated a while ago, honestly, a month or so ago. So the new CPA logo, and then on one of the sleeves, I have a nice little brick here with the colors from the channel, and then the other sleeve, I have another CPA, and then on the back, I've got the name that I guess everyone can call me by if you see me. I will respond to this for the more formal version of my name. On the back, we've got a good old-fashioned Mr. CPA. Of course, I was trying to get my wife in on this, and she wasn't quite as game for it, so it doesn't have the full effect. I was going to have Mr. CPA and Mrs. CPA, but she didn't entirely bite, which is perfectly fine. But hey, I can still be called Mr. CPA. I guess I'm getting up there. There's going to be a lot of youngins at this convention, no doubt. So, hey, maybe Mr. CPA is going to have a certain ring to it, and I'm super excited. So, as we move forward with the stream, with the episode today, getting into BRICKWORLD itself, I figured what better way to hype up BRICKWORLD than to have one of the individuals that have attended BRICKWORLD maybe more than anyone I've ever known. So at this point, without further ado, without waiting any further, I'm going to go ahead and switch on to a little bit of a new... you'll see my new setup, and you'll also see Richie. How's it going, Richie? You're live right now on the screen.
Hey! How we doing, everyone? I'm Richie from OurToyWorld. Super pumped to be here on the CPA-fol podcast. This has been in the works for a while now, yeah. Actually. So really glad we could make it work at such a great time. And thank you, CPA, for, of course, putting me on this show. Because I think this is one that I can add a lot to. Oh, yeah. So I appreciate that.
No, absolutely. And like you said, because we met for the first time at BRICKWORLD last year, and we had talked before that a bit. I honestly can't remember how or why we connected. Maybe BrickFleet. I feel like it was BrickFleet.
It actually wasn't BrickFleet. No? I met you before I met BrickFleet. The CPA lore is, I think I had found you right before BRICKWORLD, and I think I had seen you reposted on someone else's story. I couldn't tell you who, but I saw you and I was like, I'm if anyone knows me, I'm interested in accounting myself. And immediately I'm like, oh, this guy likes Lego. He's a CPA. Like, we have to be
Make the
friends.
connection.
Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like he looks like a normal guy, like he looks like a well put together individual.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm like I have to be this guy. I have to meet this guy, right? So like I think I followed you. Luckily you followed me
Oh yeah.
back and I was like, "Oh, we're so back." And then I think somehow I'd seen in your story that you were pulling up to Brickworld and I just was like, "Yeah, like I want to meet you," right? Like there had never really been any communication between us.
Mm.
I think I just like naturally saw you and I was like, "Oh, he likes Lego. He's a CPA. We're gonna be friends." And like we had like never really even talked before Brickworld. So that's kind of how it happened looking back. There was really no communication there. But
Yeah.
that's the beauty of Brickworld, right? Is that you're able to meet so many people that you know online that you've known for years, but at the same time you're also able to meet people that you're able to continue a friendship with online, you know? So it's really the beauty of Brickworld.
Absolutely. And even I don't even think I knew you were studying accounting and had an internship and all that set up before we even met in person. So that was kind of to me, you already knew that obviously and knew that was going to be a great connection point, but I had no idea that that was going to be kind of a similarity between us and a nice little talking point. And so I know when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Because I mean, in the similar way, when most people think of an accountant, they think of some, like not to go into the stereotype at all, but not necessarily a very outgoing person is generally what the stereotype is. So, with two of us, I know I can be outgoing when I need to be. You're definitely, I would say, an outgoing person. I don't know if you would say that yourself, but definitely a Brickworld, certainly an outgoing person. So it was,
Oh, of course.
It was a wonderful match to say the least, and finally able to do this here today is certainly awesome. Definitely looking forward to the conversation that we have in store. And I hope everyone in chat, we've got a handful of people in chat. Let's see, just to read off a couple names. Members first, we've got Angry Canadian. He's been in there since the beginning. He actually just went to I think it was a Lego convention in Japan this week. He's over in Japan, so it was cool to see that one. And of course, Richie joining as an intern to the channel. Thanks for becoming a channel member. Got to shout out those channel members, especially the new ones, right? And then Mrs. CPA re-upping her manager role. Yes, all rise for Mrs. CPA. She won't be wearing a shirt, so anyone going there will just have to kind of pick her out by eye for those in-person views or in-person interactions. But so lately with your channel, because we're going to start off that, we're not going to go straight into Brickworld. I feel like that wouldn't be the way to go. We got to kind of warm up to it. We've all had to wait an entire year for Brickworld, so you all aren't going to get Brickworld talk right away, even though they got a little from last year. That'll still come up here in the schedule ahead. But with your channel, you did take a little break, of course, and honestly, I took a little break as well, just because busy season. The first couple months of the year are crazy, and just so much going on just in general. But coming back to the YouTube world, if I open up your channel, which I'm going to do off screen here, and just peruse. I'm going to peruse a little bit. And while I'm doing that, actually, how do you guys in the chat like the new setup with the two screens? Normally I'm full screen. I decided to switch it up a little bit, get this little dynamic background. Let me know what you guys think about that in chat. But it looks like your first video back was it the return of Lego's greatest original character? Is that the first one back?
It's in at 9K right now. It's doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot. What is your video, and of course from a content creator standpoint, what is your video, not workflow, but your, I guess, backlog look like? Do you build up a backlog of topics and then make them, or you just kind of like, all right, I got to make a new video. What am I going to make?
So the way it works is like right now I have a list of probably 15 ideas. Whether those be themes I want to talk about, creators I want to talk about, eras of Lego I want to talk about, just different things, right, that I want to talk about. And they're on the list. So like if there's ever like I'm stumped, I have no ideas, right, I go to the list. But then what I also like to do is I also like to read the comments. and I
Mm.
get a lot of ideas from the comments, and I also get a lot of ideas from what's going on with Lego, right? So like the Johnny Thunder one, like the return of Lego's greatest original character, right? That in many ways is a glorified news video, right? But
Yeah.
there's more commentary in that than
Yeah.
a normal news video. There's more speculation for what this could mean for Lego than a normal news video, you know? I showed the pic, you know, I of course I was showing the pictures of the new sets, but
Mm-hmm.
that's something I like to do is like kind of like glorified news videos, you know, take advantage of the moment in time of something happening, but use it to look back or to look to the future, right? So that's kind of the idea is either jump on what is popular, what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
or go to the backlog of video ideas. So
Which
that's kind of how I roll.
and kind of thinking on how I approach, and certainly my kind of workflow is pretty quick and dirty at this point. It's not
Well,
entirely refined, just do a one take, get it out. But that kind of
yeah.
limits myself to where you are definitely excelling with your videos, and not just, and how you mentioned with that one, it's not just here's the new sets and here's what I think about them. Well,
Hmm.
generally most people aren't gonna watch a video because you've got Jang doing that. You've got all these much bigger YouTubers that are already offering that. And sure enough,
Hmm.
like me, on a good video, I can get 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 videos if I have a hot take, a genuine hot take. But other
Hmm.
than that, I'm probably not gonna hit 9K views like you are, because you're offering more than just pictures of sets, which is really cool to see that in your content. And honestly, I guess the views speak for themselves, and seeing the product you've been able to provide. And then kind of going into your next video, Lego Space Police, that was probably more of a historical look back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so that one was more so I think I had because something I've been talking about for a while is the unlicensed non-evergreen Lego themes of the early 2010s and late 2000s is something I'm really obsessed with. And I think that's something that a lot of people in my generation, I know you're a little older than me, CPA, so you might not have a connection like that. Obviously, you're
Mm-hmm.
more of a Bionicle guy, which I understand, you know, you're older, right? Um, but for my generation, right, we really appreciated the themes of the late 2000s and early 2010s. So look at Brick Fleet with Power Minders. All of these different kind of themes that just came and went for 1 to 3 waves really meant a lot to our generation. So I've talked about it before on the channel, and now I'm kind of like slowly but surely doing little like retrospect type
Mm-hmm.
videos on these different themes.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the inspiration behind that, and then it was very much just a retrospect. Like, what do the sets look like? How do they compare to the previous Space Police sets? How do they compare to what fans were also getting at the time? What are the pros? What are the cons? Um, in many ways, like it's almost like a ranking video, right? But a little bit more detailed, right? So that's kind of how I like to look at my content. Is kind of like I take whatever already exists, and like in terms of writing, I kind of further it into something else.
Absolutely. And it certainly offers, I'm sure in your backlog, you have a handful of videos like that you might be planning to make in the future, that with those
Yes.
historical retrospectives, it allows you much more flexibility with the kind of content you can make, and you can really kind of put those out there honestly whenever you want, because
Yep.
hopefully the right YouTube is going to get it to the right viewer. And I think, I mean, at this point, I would guess that YouTube, I would hope they've got your proper audience figured out, and the videos are getting
Yes.
to them most certainly. And of course, I would
Mhm.
be remiss if I didn't shout out Squidman, because you gave Squidman a nice little spot in in that Space Police video.
Oh yeah,
I
and
don't.
he was purposely included in the thumbnail. I
Oh,
was like,
oh
I'm
yeah.
going to include Squid Man.
Oh yeah, the Squidman in chat. What a legend he is, no doubt.
Yes, he is.
And then moving on to your most recent video, which is an interesting video, because you didn't it from talking a little bit before this, you didn't seem to have the highest expectations with this video. Whether it was just, I don't know, if maybe did you think it needed to be polished a little more, or just the content maybe it was too old where people wouldn't necessarily latch on to it? What was your thought process behind that one?
I knew it would do well from the jump, just because when I have covered Lego YouTube topics
Oh
in the
yeah.
past, they've done well because people like to know about like Lego YouTube is a big thing at this point, right? Like even niche creators at this point are known by the mainstream, right? Like
Hmm.
I mentioned the other day, like one of my in real life friends from my school, when he found out I knew Mayday Figs,
Yeah.
like flipped out. Or one of my other friends just like casually mentioned RR Slugger in a conversation. He's like, you know about the slug? I'm like, you know about RR Slugger? Like, what? You know, I'm like, genuinely surprised, right? Um, so I knew the video would do well in some ways, but at the same time, like, you know, Brick Queen has not uploaded in a while. The Brick Show, they have not, you know, been around for 6 years at this point.
Yeah.
I wasn't using Lego in the thumbnail. I was like, this will do like maybe a thousand or 2,000 views. Like it'll do, you know, that's still good, but like this is not going to go anywhere, right? It's just a passion project of mine. And I have been pleasantly surprised. Let's just say that.
So yeah, if no one or if anyone in the chat hasn't seen that yet, it was really helpful for me to watch just because I've only been in the community for literally a year at this point. So I had no idea literally about any of that stuff. I mean, I've been watching Ryan since post COVID, like 2020, I think,
uh,
early summer 2020. And so otherwise I didn't really know what was going on. And even then when I was watching his stuff, it was just, oh, review this, review that, leaks coming up, worst to first, nothing like beef between people. I had no idea. So seeing this stuff was like, whoa, there truly is, and I don't know what it would necessarily move the Lego community into as far of like a regime or not an era, because of course that would lead me to the Lego community at this point certainly has eras of like
yes.
5-year eras, maybe 2010 to 15, 15 to pre-COVID, post-COVID to now. And it's just crazy that, this has been going on for that long to where we have literally the Lego community has eras that are defined by things like this that me in the current era, I have no idea about. And now I have a much better idea about.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really one of those things where it's like when things happen in the moment and like whatever happens in this current era of Lego YouTube, in the moment, it's not going to matter to you, right? It's gonna be like, oh, that's cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But looking back on 2018, it wasn't even until a year ago that I really like grasped like what actually happened at BRICKWORLD Chicago 2018. Like I was there. Like I was interviewing people in the moment. I interviewed Emendar.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed Brick Show Brian days after the Brick Show channel was deleted. I was watching the Brick Queen Brickbuster in real time. I was seeing the people walk around with the Lego policeman mask, like, but it never really felt like anything important. But then I was like looking back today, and I'm like, wow, like that's kind of the moment everything kind of changed because like then we saw a different, like Emendar of course took off even more after that, and those channels and that kind of way of people succeeding on YouTube kind of died out. Obviously. Um, and now here we are. So it's like, what's going to happen next? Whatever happens next, it might not be one moment you can point to, but whatever
Mm-hmm.
happens, it's going to matter, and you're not going to be able to realize it until you look back, right?
Exactly.
It's life though. So
Absolutely. And even looking at the various brick worlds that you've gone to and how that has affected your channel, and even as I have your channel up, you have your first several videos are, like you said, interview with Ryan, interview with Brick Show.
oh,
Let's see.
just to be clear though, those videos are what I decided to keep up. I took down 300 videos.
Oh wow. Which
So,
yeah.
there's about 50 Lego hauls of mine that have been taken off. They're all unlisted or like private. Don't worry, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
delete them. I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
not gonna do that to myself. But there's about 50 Lego hauls. There's a couple Lego Ninjago stop motion series that
Hey.
the writing is all right, but the voice acting and the stop motion is horrendous. There's some brick film reviews. There's some normal set reviews. I was throwing everything at the wall, but I'm a big believer in like that 10,000 hour rule. And I know you CPA obviously have video experience from other things. You didn't just start editing
Yeah.
videos
Yeah.
last May. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you get that too. Like I think that 10,000 hour rule really is a real thing.
Yeah.
Um, You gotta put your time in. You gotta
Oh, yeah.
grind out those videos or learn that software or do this or do that before anything starts to take off. It's just natural.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't. I mean, people say, and it's true. Like sometimes it's people are paralysis by analysis. Like, oh, I got to keep figuring out what I need to do. I got to plan for this, plan for that. So there definitely is some truth to just make a video and put it up there. Just literally get started, take that first step. But like you've done, I certainly not all the videos that I've made are still up on my channel by any means. So, you learn, as long as you learn from them, they're part of your history. They don't necessarily have to be seen by everyone in your current personal era, but it's always cool to look back and kind of see where you've come from and how far you've gone. Into that, I know I had asked you before this podcast which BRICKWORLD Chicagos you've been to, and I think I know you had mentioned it before when we first talked last year at BRICKWORLD. And so I definitely wanted to ask again to get a better idea. And so I'm looking at the list here. You've been to 2010, 2011, 2012, 2016, 17, the infamous 18, of course, 19, and then 22 and 23. And the only reason you probably skipped 2020 COVID was 21 also a COVID?
Yeah,
technical?
So unfortunately, obviously, like June 21, everything was opening up, but of course, with the Renaissance Schaumburg being such a coveted location, I don't think BRICKWORLD was able to happen. It was like all the regulations lifted at the start of May, and there's no way you're going to throw a Lego convention in first week of June with 5 weeks of planning, or 6 weeks,
Oh, yeah.
So
two technicalities in there, but otherwise 9 BRICKWORLDs in there. And so thinking back to, and we'll kind of get into our BRICKWORLD portion of the podcast, and really like that 2010, what was that like? How many people were there? Who was there? Was Ryan from M&R there? Were those people there yet, or was it still pretty small?
Well, I didn't know who Ryan was at that time.
Yeah.
I wasn't on Lego YouTube at that time. The way I found about the first BRICKWORLD is the way BRICKWORLD originally kind of promoted their show a lot was they were really big into like discounts. Like BRICKWORLD still today is a relatively like affordable show. I think it's like $15 for a public ticket, and they've kept those prices the same forever. But there are several ways to get that price lowered. And I think at the time I was in Boy Scouts, and that's how we found out about BRICKWORLD, is they were doing a promotion or they'd offer discounts or something like that to like the local Boy Scout chapters, right? And where BRICKWORLD was originally held, Wheeling, Illinois, is closer to my house than Schaumburg. So it was like, oh, cool. Like, I was a Lego fan at the time. It's like, let's go to this Lego convention. My mom was like a den leader for Cub Scouts, so me and a few friends went, and it was interesting. I can't remember. It was a very different way it was set up, because the current setup for BRICKWORLD is it's in a hotel, right? But it's at a convention center that's connected to a hotel. This was a hotel, as in like all the Lego was in ballrooms, right? So you would go from ballroom to ballroom, checking out the things. I remember I'm pretty sure it was pretty packed. It was pretty packed. It was cool. I had a good time, but it was packed because, a ballroom is like not it's like for smaller convention kind of things, or like little like expo shows, not a mass of people coming in and, going to all the things. So at that time, BRICKWORLD was a lot of people were displaying were lug members. I assume there was probably Shy Lug was one of the first groups to get involved. So a lot of lug members were there. I'm pretty sure it's really all it was. Just a lot of lug people showing off their collections, their builds. I obviously didn't know about private days or any of that kind of stuff. It was just kind of like, I'm going for the day. Let's see what it's all about. I went in 2010. I went again in 2011, that time with my grandfather. And I believe I went in 2012. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure I did, because I think I went to the Wheeling. We'll count it, right? But by the end, either 2011 or 2012, it was packed. They had outgrown that space. they had taken over all the ballrooms, and remember there was one ballroom that was dedicated to selling, like it was like
Oh
the
wow,
seller's
yeah.
room. Um, Obviously you would go from ballroom to ballroom to go like look at the mocks. But then for different like events, which I wasn't participating in, but like Dirty Brickster, Dirty Buildster. Dirty Buildster is where you get like a random bag of Lego parts and you from like someone else and you have to build it into a mock and like whoever is the
Oh,
best mock
nice.
wins. That kind of stuff was going on in the hallway. Like it was packed there. Like by the time like late 2010s they had to go or early 2010s like they had to go, right? So they switched it over to Schaumburg and for whatever reason I stopped going. I think it was just the fact that Schaumburg is a little farther away from where
Mm,
I live. So I stopped going until that eventually changed in 2016 when I started uploading Lego YouTube videos.
nice. Which in 2016, of course, that looks like the one where you interviewed Ryan. Is that
No, that was
2016 or is that
2017.
okay?
That
Okay.
was, and I have a very funny interact. So my story of meeting Emendar Productions is something that actually has to be shared because I think it's hilarious, right? So Brickworld 2016 was a very important show because Brickworld 2016 saw like the start of the Lego community of YouTube going to Brickworld.
Hmm.
It could have probably been happening even before 2016. People like, do you know who Brick 101 is?
I don't think so.
Okay, he's taken a few years off now, but he is a very large Lego YouTuber that did a lot of custom like Mario sets and stuff
Mm.
and like reviewed
Mm-hmm.
Lego. But he originally rose to fame because he had a brick film series called Nightly News at 9. So people like him, and he lives in like the Chicagoland area, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. So people like him, that were YouTubers from Chicago or Chicago, the area we're going, but it wasn't like this where it's like a pilgrimage spot effectively. Like you have to go to Brickworld Chicago, right? People were not flying in from other countries or coming in from other parts of the US to Brickworld. It wasn't like that,
It was
right?
like a
But
Midwest
20
thing, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you're a Midwest Lego fan, if you're in a log, you're gonna pull up. If you're a YouTuber, unless you're in a log or you're there to sell stuff, maybe you'll go for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that. But 2016, by the way, let me know if I'm going too into
No,
detail at
dude,
any
go
point.
for it.
Because like
That's what we're here
I
for.
can talk about Brickworld all day. Okay, but 2016 is when you see Brickworld change because that year Rebel Log has a table, right? And I don't know if you're familiar with Rebel Log. I actually have some of their merch right here. This
Yep.
one wasn't planned. I just happen to have it. This is Rebel Log. Rebel Log is one of the first real successful online Lego user groups. I'm pretty sure they were the first online log to actually achieve lug status from the
Wow.
company. There were plenty of people calling themselves lugs, but
Yeah.
they weren't getting lug bulk. They weren't recognized. But Rebel Lug changed that. They were the first, I'm pretty sure, online Lego users group to actually be recognized, right? So Rebel Lug at that time was still in its infancy, was very young, but Lego Spencer was there, Chris Productions was there, Lego Buff Productions was there. Um, some very big, important Star Wars mock builders were there. I think what was his name? 501st Clone Trooper, 501st Lego Clone Trooper, I think was his name. There was this guy named Anders, I think his name was.
I feel like
But
I've heard
anyway,
that
right.
name. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. There was only 6 of them. I can actually send you a picture if you want to put it up right now on Discord of me with them, if
Yeah.
that's cool with you.
Yeah. Let's go for it.
Is that all right? I just thought this would be fun to maybe do for like lore reasons, like
Yeah.
because at this point I'm just going into detail and like so
We
this
need some
is
show
young
and tell.
Richie.
All right.
This is me
Let's.
with Rebel Lug. Let me know when it sends. There you go.
Yep. I have a little bit of a roundabout way I've got to share it, but we'll get it up there.
Okay.
I get to show
And
off my
while I'm at
new
it, I'll show my other
screen
picture.
share.
And while I'm at it, I actually have another picture I have to show, and I'll send that to you. But that doesn't need to be shown at this second. I love this lore stuff. This is why I do this, right, guys? Like I love Lego, but um, what keeps me is like the fact that this has been part of my life, and I'm so knowledgeable about the community. I'm like a nerd.
Oh yeah.
So
No, we love that stuff. That's what makes it interesting. And people like me that have no idea what came before. So I've got it up on screen, the one with you and Rebel Lug.
Yes, that's little Richie. Richie was what?
Lil Richie.
I was 14 at the time. I
Wow.
had just graduated 8th grade. I had no clue what Rebel Lug was. I think I knew some of these guys, like Chris Productions, he's in the green. Chris Productions I had known about since 2013. But I never knew about Rebel Lug. And the day before, I had started my YouTube channel in October 2015. The day before, one of my online friends was like, "Yo, at Brickworld, go see Rebel Lug." So I go up and I'm like, "Hey, my friend, this guy who they knew, like, told me about you guys." And they were so supportive. They actually invited me in their booth. I actually was invited into their booth to take a picture.
Nice.
It was a fabulous time, and really special actually. Um, so what's it called? That was like the start of people of Lego YouTubers coming. Okay, 2016. Because these guys, Chris is from Canada. Some of them are from like the area, but a lot of them are from other parts of the country, and they came to Brickworld. This was the first time I'm pretty sure that a group of YouTubers or people that were involved in YouTube made it to Brickworld to be together. Okay, so obviously people had started traveling from farther distances at this point, but this is the first instance of when we see actual YouTubers going to Brickworld to make it a meetup. Okay.
So
Then in
2016,
2017,
2016
sorry.
really was the like. 'Cause I just threw out 2010 to 2015 as like a nice 5-year transition, but it sounds like it really was a 5-year, 10 to 15
Yes.
or prior, and then 16 to whatever to COVID. So basically 2020.
Yes. 2016 is legit when everything changed because this is the first time we're actually seeing YouTubers come together as YouTubers, as like, oh, it's not just a fun thing. We are
Yeah.
a vlog with Lego Star Wars mock YouTubers. I don't know. Most of these guys are kind of retired now. Lego
Mm-hmm.
Spencer, I think, posts every once in a while. He's at about 10K. Lego Buff Productions, he's in the Clone Army custom shirt on the right side. Um, He's at like 40K. Chris Productions is a legend in the Lego Star Wars mock scene, but he's more or less retired. But regardless, these guys changed everything, right? Because in 2017 is when the tide starts to turn and people start coming to Brickworld, okay?
Wow.
Because Rebelug between 2016 and 2017 grew massively. Just more members joined. I'm pretty sure their footprint was expanding.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got recognized by Lego around that time. It
Yeah.
was a great time, right? Instead of bringing like 6 guys, they brought like 20 guys, and they also brought some other people with them that weren't in Rebelug. One of them being Emendar Productions.
Nice.
So, 2017 BRICKWORLD Chicago is when I met Ryan, aka Emendar Productions. And the funniest story about me meeting Ryan is that this next picture, which you should probably show, is me with another famous and legendary Lego YouTuber.
Is this the Brick Show guy?
That right there is Jason from the Brick Show. Now, at this point, I was already kind of done watching the Brick Show, but they meant a lot to me in my early days of watching like.
All right. It says I'm streaming. I'm sure it'll take a hot second. Got to close some windows, evidently. Okay, so we got that.
Looks like we're back.
We back, everyone? There we go. All right, chat. You got to let us know. You got to let us know what
Where
what
did
you
I
missed,
stop?
because there was a lot of lore in there. Did everyone hear the story of how Richie first met M&R? That's the key. That's the linchpin of all life
That
events.
changes everything.
So let us know real quick. No, they didn't hear it. All right.
Okay. So here's what happens, right? So Rebel Log goes in 2016. This is when we see Lego YouTubers start to unite at Brickworld. The next year, Rebel Lug is on fire. They're adding a bunch of new members. Chris is building this fantastic Scarif mock. Rebel Lug is just killing it, right? So that next year, they instead of going with 6 guys, they're going with like 20 and a bunch of like members and people that are going, but or people that are like, how do I, what's the word? It's like you're close to something, but you're not a part of it.
Affiliates.
Yeah, affiliate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's an accounting term, business term.
Yes.
That's what I'm here for.
So, like, for example, like Life Bricks, he was there at that Brick World displaying with Rebel Lug, but he wasn't in Rebel Lug at that time. He was actually in Rebel Lug for a little bit. That's a whole other story, though. But Ryan was there with the Rebel Lug guys. Like, it was just like, it was like all of the Lego Star Wars people on YouTube were there, with the exception of like David Hall. So if you were a Lego Star Wars mock builder, you were either in Rebel Lug at the time or you were displaying with Rebel Lug at the event, more or less, you know? And then there was Ryan there because he was close with a bunch of them. And pretty much what I was saying is that what's really funny is that I met Jason from the Brick Show at BRICKWORLD 2016. And what's it called? I bought a shirt from him, and I needed that shirt. And I wore it to BRICKWORLD 2017 because it was some Lego merch. And who cares if I don't watch the Brick Show anymore? Like, I still respect them, right? And that on Wednesday or Thursday, I was going outside to go to my mother's car to get my mock. And I walked past some of the Rebel Lug guys. As I'm leaving the building, they're coming in. And I see Emendar Productions, and I go like, "Oh, it's Emendar Production." He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, nice shirt." And I'm like, I knew it was a joke, and I'm like, "Thanks, man." And what's hilarious is that I meet the Brick Show at BRICKWORLD 2016. I buy a shirt. BRICKWORLD 2017. I'm wearing that shirt when I meet Emendar Productions. BRICKWORLD 2018. That Thursday, the Brick Show channel is deleted.
Dude,
like. Everything is connected. Everything is connected.
What shirt are you wearing right now?
This is a like 90s or 80s Lego torso inspired t-shirt.
Okay.
If you know who Mayo Hosko is, his Sig Fig has this shirt. You've seen this design.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. So
this shirt was $30.
That's a lot.
But it's a nice shirt, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it by like normies. Like I like subtle Lego merch.
Yeah.
If you don't know Lego,
you would just think
Lego,
it's a cool logo, or just a cool graphic,
which I love. And I'm like, oh, it's a Lego shirt. And people are like, oh. But yeah. So now back in the day we were wearing Brick Show merch. Now we're wearing subtle Lego merch. It's like $30, a little pricey, but
oh yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, but I'm pretty sure 2017 is when everything started to change, right? So 2017. Again, like Rebel Lug brings out all these Star Wars guys. The year after is when you start to see other Lego YouTubers go. There was Beta Lug. That was another Star Wars lug that was inspired by Rebel Lug. No lug status, but they were there, right? And then you also see people like Brother from Another Brick showing up. You see Eric, Eric's World. Back then he was Brick Worlds 23. He's had some name changes. Slowly but surely, you start to see more YouTubers trickle in that next year. 2019, same thing. There's again big Star Wars scene. Empire Lug now is a thing. They're there as well.
Yep.
Again, it was very before the pandemic. Something I need to stress is that BRICKWORLD was very Lego Star Wars centric. And I guess it just makes sense, right? You got a donation. I don't know if you have to pause for that. I'll continue on with that.
Yeah, Ostip, thank you so much. So Ostip is a real G because he works at Myers and he got the lowdown on the Rex's microfighter at his Myers, so he was able to grab a couple before they hit the shelves. And so rather than risking me not finding it anywhere at Target or wherever, I was just like, dude, grab me one. We'll do the little parking lot toss at BRICKWORLD, and I'll have a nice little microfighter. So thank you so much, Austin. Looking forward to meeting you as well. It's gonna be so much fun.
Thank you for the donation, Austin. Everyone like it. We're at 6 likes on the donation. Let's get some more. Sorry, excuse me.
All good.
So yeah. So if you're cool about, I'm gonna keep on going, I guess.
Keep on trucking. We're on to so we started at 2010. we're already on to 2017, 18. So we're basically
2017, 18, 19. Okay. So something I really need to stress though is that 2017 Star Wars, 2018 there's some other Lego YouTubers trickling again, but this is Star Wars. 2019 big time Star Wars. I mean, 2019 was if you were a non-Lego Star Wars YouTuber, you were not like most of the people there were Lego Star Wars YouTubers, okay? Because you had Rebel Lug, which was still big,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had Empire Lug, which had just been founded. Now you have two Star Wars lugs. Beta Lug by this time had disbanded. A lot of those guys ended up in Empire Lug, though, if I remember correctly. Um, and then there are people like me there, people like D Tenaglia Studios. He's a Ninjago YouTuber that's kind of retired now.
Mm-hmm.
There were other people, and he was going for a while too. He was in there in 2017, 2018. So I apologize for that. Again, there were one-off YouTubers, but the big clicks were the Lego Star Wars guys. You had Empire Lug and you had Rebel Lug, right? Again, local people, this and that, the one-offers, they're there. But this is a Lego Star Wars YouTuber convention. If you're a YouTuber, you are a Lego Star Wars mock builder or involved in Lego Star Wars.
So did they still have the train and the city sections at this point? Were those still kind of off to the side?
Always been there.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm like going into like the community part of it.
Yeah,
the
no, all good.
Like Penn Lug, which I'm pretty sure has now been shut down. They were always there. The Northern Illinois Train Club or whatever it's called was there. Shy Lug was there. You had other lugs from the Midwest. You have Nebraska lugs. You have all these sorts. You have Whisk Lug. You have Minnesota Lug, like Twin Lug. Those people are all there, right? So again, that's something I should have explained. The lugs have always been there, right? And the lugs really matter.
Oh, yeah.
Lugs are very important, right? I think people with the rise of the internet forget sometimes how important a good Lego user group is. A good Lego user group, I don't know if you know this, CPA, because I didn't until I found this out recently. If you're like a normal lug, you have to put on like 4 shows a year. I don't know if you knew that. I assume you did.
I figured it was like a couple, maybe not 4. I mean, that seems like a lot. I know I've talked
maybe it's 3 or 2, but it's like you have to be doing. So a lot of them go to BRICKWORLD for one of their shows.
Yeah.
Okay, but then they're doing stuff at libraries, at little convention sites. Like that's a big reason why. Yeah, and that's like a big reason why BRICKWORLD has so many other events is because, and why they have demand is that lugs have to do these events, right? So if a BRICKWORLD is popping up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, that allows all the lugs in that surrounding area the opportunity to go to an event that they don't have to completely put on their own. And of course, it helps BRICKWORLD. They have an automatic list of people that are going to be presenting. It's a win-win, right? So lugs, of course, matter. They grow the brand in person, right? So I want to stress that. This is not by no means. This is not like a BRICKWORLD was only cool when Rebel Lug showed up. BRICKWORLD has been cool. It will be cool. In my opinion, the community, the online community aspect of it, it just makes it even better. But there will always be cool mocks at BRICKWORLD, even if the community stops showing up. I'm just being honest. But that's not going to happen.
And it does
gotten way too big.
The online community does make it a little more, I don't know if you even want to call it mainstream per se, but I mean, I don't think it's I would agree with you. I don't think it's a bad thing that the online community and like the YouTubers and all that stuff has made it worse. Obviously,
no.
There's chance for any aspect of BRICKWORLD to get to the focus of that to be improperly on one thing versus another, and it could topple anything. So I think a balance is certainly useful and necessary. And I mean, it's going to be interesting because this year, and we're getting a little too close to 2024, so we won't get into that too much. But like, I think this year is going to be an interesting tone that will be set moving forward, because I think, and maybe certainly could be recency bias, but I think this is like the first year where people who were either on the fence, they're now all in, or more people are all in, and more people are dipping their toes in than even last year, which last year was huge. Yeah. So those people, myself, going all in, pulling a couple of people with them, I'm sure, like my wife, and then More people trying it out. Hopefully, Saturday is going to be even bigger than it was last year. But I think this year is going to really set the tone for all future conventions until the next era starts, essentially, which we might be getting up to that moment.
Oh, of course. I think it's crazy this year, especially with like the international people coming. Because if you had told me in BRICKWORLD 2016, when I was so overjoyed to meet Rebel Lug and the Brick Show, just because those were the YouTubers that were there. I also met Brick Blaze, shout out to Brick Blaze, and then Brick Dudes. He's not really around anymore, I don't think, but he pops in every now and then. They were kind of like, how would I describe them? They were kind of like some, like when it comes to content in the mid 2010s, I have a lot of people I call like kind of vlog creators. Like they'll do their hauls, they'll do some like just building streams, that kind of thing. I consider them from kind of like that era. But yeah, I met 8, 9 YouTubers there. I was elate. I was so happy. If you had told me when I'm 14 years old, coming to BRICKWORLD and taking pictures in the Rebel Lug booth, that in 8 years, every Lego YouTuber and content creator, because there will be, hey, fun fact, content creators outside of YouTube, and that this will be the spot that people are flying from other countries to come
literally the world.
I would have laughed at you. I would have said, what? I can count the number of Lego YouTubers here on 2 hands. What are you talking about international? Like, BRICKWORLD, I think, really turned that 2022 year, because obviously that was Mark's first time like actually running the show. He took over in 2019, but of course what happened in 2020, and then of course with the reopening in 2021, it was go time for Mark, and I mean, he killed it. 2022 was a blast, and there were so many more creators there, and it was not, of course, Rebel Lug and Empire Lug were still there, but there were so many like non-Star Wars creators. I don't know. I think in many ways for BRICKWORLD, it was benefited by the fact that it didn't have a 2021 show. I know obviously like financially it probably was terrible, and I'm not excusing that at all. But I'm saying when it comes to the hype of BRICKWORLD, Virginia had a 2021 show. All these other conventions took 1 year off. BRICKWORLD was unfortunately just in the spot where they couldn't do that 2021 show. And I mean, they definitely probably paid for it. But in 2022, it was like, there hasn't been a BRICKWORLD in 2 years. Like, this is going to be good.
Like, so
and
with
that,
that being the case, like so 2019 to 2022, what stark differences immediately stand out to you from being at both of those that really took it to the next level? Because I think to what you're saying, them taking those years off, probably unwillingly, ownership changing hands. When did they first go to the Renaissance? Was that 2019 or 22?
I think it was 2013 they've been at the Renaissance.
Oh, okay. So they've been there for a while then. That wasn't really a factor.
The Renaissance was kind of the reason why I stopped going, because it was farther, and I was like, I don't know why. I was like, whatever. It's different.
Yeah,
now I'm like, why was I complaining about that? It's still close. Like, I don't have to fly there. I don't have to drive 5 hours there. Well, again, it's when you're when you're a kid, you're a kid, right?
So 2019 to 2022, what are the kind of the main differences? Was it so just from hearing your conversation, a lot of more YouTubers and content creators going in 22? Is that part of it?
But also types of content. Sorry, my watch. Like, who is making an Instagram reel in 2019? What Lego TikToks are there in summer 2019?
Yeah.
Who is streaming on Twitch doing Lego stuff in 2019 other than Brick and Nick? Brick and Nick, by the way, was doing Lego Twitch for years. He actually, in 2018, showed up to BRICKWORLD. He actually had a little streaming setup that he allowed people to use, which is really cool. Nice. That's neither here nor there, though. But, like, between 2019 and 2022, you are seeing no more of I'm just going to YouTube or Instagram. There's Instagram Reels, there's TikTok, all these other now platforms for Lego are popping off. And before, a lot of times it was whoever was popular on YouTube was popular on that platform. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it's everyone's different on all these platforms. So that was the case. Um, and I think it just was like everyone was just like, I want to try out Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I think 2020 would have been big just because like it was getting there and it was like slowly growing. Like people, non-Star Wars YouTubers were gonna start coming regardless. You know, it's a big show. It's in Chicago. People want to try it out. Um, but I think the fact that there was no 2020 and 2021, I think it would have been a slow growth to 2022.
Exactly. Yeah. So
But
22 definitely, you're saying 22 is certainly bigger because of that gap than if they had the steady growth from 2020 to 2021.
I think it would have been similarly as big.
Yeah.
But part of me doesn't want to say that because what is content consumption going to look like if there is no, I don't know if I can say the word can I say the word pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh, I just said it. Okay, I don't know if you're gonna get demonetized. I remember like back when it started, like
oh,
people were getting demonetized.
I don't think that's a thing.
It was at
Was
first
it?
in like March 2020. You couldn't say like pandemic or COVID or any of that. So even today I don't say it on YouTube. So if I
Well,
got you demonetized, I'm
no,
sorry.
it's all good. I'm
But
not making much money off of these streams, so it's all good
okay,
in the
but so
rewatch.
like, but during that time, obviously, there's a whole change in consumption of content. So many YouTubers enter the platform. So many people rediscover Lego. So many people start channels, start following it on different platforms too. So I think 2022 would have been big, but I think the fact that there was a break that created more hype and created time for people to be like, I have to go now, but
Mm,
also changes in content consumption and new creators. I think it was like the perfect storm. And it definitely worked out for Brickworld that way. Whereas if, I mean, 2022 still would have been big, but not like that. You
yeah.
know?
And
That's kind of my opinion.
I'm sure it even felt bigger because it's like we've all been away for 2 years, 3 years. I've heard so much about this for the new people going in 22. New content creators, I'm sure, have popped up, like you said, in the last year and a half, year to 2 years. And there's just
Mm-hmm.
so much more to look forward to that these people are getting. And here it is. And how known? Obviously, it was known, but how known to the average new goer was it that that Mark was the new owner and that was a reality? Was that pervasive knowledge and potentially even a factor of people wondering, or was that just not kind of behind the scenes and just going on? Like, did you personally know about it at the time?
Yeah, I knew because it was announced at Brickworld 2019 that Mark was taking over. It didn't mean much to me, but Mark
Okay.
was doing virtual shows. He was trying to stream. He was really good at connecting with the online community. So even if people didn't know that Mark was like the new owner, they knew the owner, which was already a big deal, right?
Oh yeah.
Brian, by the way, I just want to say shout out to him. Brian, I don't think was as involved with the online community, and that's no fault of his own.
Yep.
Brian is like from Indiana. Yeah, he's from Indiana. That man is like super tapped in with the logs. He was involved in First Lego League. Like, I'm not saying like just Mark and Brian, the way they organize the show has been different. That's a good thing because different interests, different ways of connecting, different audiences they connect with. But Brian, of course, was very central in getting these lugs to show up just from his involvement, right? So it's been like the perfect storm, right? Brian helped build the base. Mark, of course, is now doing the streams, really connecting with the online community. And it's been honestly probably a killer combo that, again, looking back,
Yeah.
the time that Mark switched ownership, again, those 2 years, I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine how hard I can only imagine how hard that was. And I'm not taking away from that at all. But Mark definitely being more tapped in with the online
Oh yeah.
community and being ready to like, let's do online shows, let me get involved was perfect. Or was a good thing in my opinion. And real
Certainly.
quick,
Yeah, no,
you
I'm
got a
gonna
lot of
pause
time.
because this is a momentous occasion for the channel because Angry Canadian has gifted 5 memberships, which has never happened before. I've never been honored to have someone gift memberships. So I'm very happy to anyone who's been hanging out in chat that was able to benefit from that membership. We've got Ostiff, Cooper, Squidman, Dave Bricks, and Papa Rex as 5 new members to the channel. Hopefully, you'll be able to use those emojis well And on future videos, for as long as your membership lasts, you can leave some emojis in the comments. I always like, whenever I reply to comments, using those emojis for just either like, not necessarily trolling, but just being a little jokey, a little sarcastic whenever I reply to comments. So thank you so much for those 5. And it looks like you said 5 supervisors. I think our interns might be outnumbered at this point, which is crazy. So we got, you're familiar with the hierarchy of public accounting. 5 supervisors. That's pretty darn good.
5 supervisors, not staff. That's crazy.
Like, just to give you guys a little behind the scenes, and you, Richie, we don't even have 5 supervisors in our office. So the fact that my little YouTube channel now has 5 supervisors, man, we're getting a lot of audits done. We're getting reviews done. The interns and associates now have to do all the inventory observations and all that stuff. So like, this is a great time to be an owner in this firm. So I'm very excited on that. And yeah, we have to expand the parking lot. All these supervisors are getting new parking spots. That's wild. But thank you so much once again.
No, this is a different kind of firm. This is the supervisors are really just doing the interns and the staff's work. But because this firm believes in giving people better titles and better pay, they're gonna name them all supervisors. So we're good. We're good.
Tell them that. They don't need to know that. But yes, use those emojis as much as possible. And oh my goodness, I think I just realized, because we had a bunch of new members, I can add at least one more emoji. So I'll have to think of I'll get Angry Canadian. Let me know, Angry Canadian, if there's a specific emoji type that you want me to add, and I'll make sure that gets in there. Whether you want it to be, what was you said you like power miners. I could add a power miners one, or if you want me to add another Bionicle one. We've got options.
Hey, real quick, while you're at it, drop me a bunch of lore emojis. If you're enjoying the stream and you're loving the Brickworld lore drops, go spam some lore emojis. Let's go, guys. Lore.
Members, drop the lore emojis, because this stream has been chock full of lore. Love it. Awesome. And we're finally at 2022. Brickworld 2022. So we've got a couple more years to go, and then I can finally contribute to the conversation. I've just been listening this whole time, so which is awesome. I love learning. I love all the things there are to learn about Brickworld. So there's all the lores popping up. Oh my goodness, there they are.
Woo!
Love it.
Lore. Sorry, I'm putting this on my IG story, let people know, hey, we are cooking.
And let's see what so for the people in chat, 12 votes, 67% are going to Brickworld, 33% are not. And if my math is mathing, I think that's about 8 people going to Brickworld in the chat, which is very exciting. Don't worry, Life Bricks. Tyler said he's late. We've just been covering.
Tyler, you are missing out on so much. You need to watch this stream back.
Dude, yeah, catch the rewatch, man. Yeah, Will Bricks is like, you missed 2016 through 2019. A lot of stuff going on. Oh my goodness.
I'm putting this on my IG story. I'm sorry for doing all the pictures right now, but like,
dude,
this is the conversation you do not want to miss.
And I'm so bummed, like the one out of 2 or so streams where it died in the middle. That's why I always have the stream up on my phone, just because I don't want, like, it's hard to tell if it's still going from my laptop. So certainly keeping it up on my phone just to make sure nothing's dying.
Well, we have rebounded well. I will say that.
Oh yeah. We've come back stronger than ever.
So what did we leave off on? Like how the ownership change kind of affected things, or like.
Yeah, well, real quick, Tyler said, hopefully I only missed a quarter of the stream. I think he's hoping we're going for another 3 hours.
We can do that. I can go into detail of every Brickworld I've gone to since 2016 and give you a day-by-day rundown.
Oh my goodness. Well, actually, real quick, When was the first Brickworld you went for the private days?
2017. That's
Okay.
also when I met Tyler.
Oh, nice. So Tyler, do you know if he went there?
Young Tyler, he will be the first to admit young Tyler was a quiet chap.
Oh, see,
That's what
I
I
was
said.
gonna guess he was maybe a little like talky and like trying to, meet everyone, get around to all the groups. But you're saying he's pretty much the exact opposite, a little
Well,
quiet.
nah, just like I don't know. Tyler, I don't know. Old Tyler was like flexing the Yeezy stuff. He was an interesting guy. So I met Tyler at Brickworld in 2017. I think I was like, "Oh, are you Life Bricks?" And he just was like, "Yeah." But then in 2017, I also went up to him another day, and I think I complimented him on his Cubs jersey, and he was like thrilled. So I don't know. That's kind of funny to me that when I met Tyler and like I asked him about his channel, he wasn't interested. But when I just bring up the Cubs jersey, he was thrilled. Um, but no, Tyler is sick. Like he'll be the first to admit. Yeah, he says in the chat, look, he's like, I was quiet with a stupid ego. Yeah,
Did
so
he have Gucci flip
uh
flops?
and then in 2018, I almost interviewed Tyler actually.
Ooh.
That's the funny thing. 2018, all that lore going on. Um Tyler, me and him were trying to get an interview set up.
So
But
was Tyler at a previous Brickworld, or did he? And Tyler, you can mention this as well. Did he first go there in 2017? Did you say?
I'm
Is when
pretty
you went?
sure he was going before, but it was kind of
Okay.
like me just for public days.
Yeah.
And like, I think he had his YouTube channel, but again, like,
Mm-hmm.
there was no Lego YouTuber meetup,
No.
it kind of just was like, if you're in the area and you're a YouTuber, cool. You go on your own, you take some content, and you move on with your life.
Exactly.
Um, it really changed 2017. Well, no, it changed 2016. 2017, you start to see it.
Mm-hmm.
2018, 2019, it's growing. You take a couple years off, throw in Mark, who's really connected with the community. Hype is building. Everyone shows up. 2023, people see how much of a blast 2022 was. They start going. And 2024 is now you have people coming from all over the world for Lego YouTube's sake.
And I think
It's
part of that tidal wave, just snowball effect with how you described, I think you said 2016 rolling into 2017 was crazy. Now we're seeing 22 rolling into 23, which I have no doubt we're going to get another snowball rolling into 24 is going to be really fascinating to see. And I'm very excited to see how this unfurls. But before we get to 24, we do have 2023 to talk about. And
yes.
Tyler said 2014 was my first. Didn't talk to anyone. 2017 was my first one where I showed my face and people knew it was actually me. And then before we move on to 23, Ostif says, hey, gang, sadly have to head out for a tiny bit. Have to drive, won't be in chat, but will be in stream. Thanks for chatting, Ostif. Always active in the chat. Thank you so much for that. And no worries. Stay safe when you're driving out there. You don't need to risk it for the CPA-fol stream, but you can certainly listen. Absolutely listen.
As long as you're listening, man, you're not going to miss out on the lore.
Exactly. Because there will be 2023 lore, which finally I can contribute to. Like I said, I've been sitting here listening, and
2023 lore isn't as fun. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It's not as
2023 was my best Brickworld yet.
Yeah, and there was no brick show. No one got canceled or YouTube deleted. So there wasn't anything like that. But man, and you can still take it away in 2023 because I didn't get there until Saturday. So this thing started up on. See, and that kind of confuses me. It doesn't really start on Wednesday. Does everything start on Thursday? Really? Everyone's just kind of coming in on Wednesday.
Wednesday is like ideally a setup day, but Thursday is when all the conferences and the panels are starting, and then that night, of course, was the what's it called, the opening ceremonies. And by the way, I just want to say I'm sorry if I'm stealing your job, but I love this comment from Tyler. 2017 and 2018 Brickworld for me were great times. Some drama, but I had a lot of good memories and OG friends I had. 2019 I couldn't go to. Then 2022 was different coming back, but 2023 was a crazy 10 out of 10. I think Tyler can probably agree with me how 26, looks like he wasn't there in 2016, or maybe he was, but like 2016, I think he can agree changed. Because again, he shows up in 2017, he's displaying, um, and again, everything kind of changed. But I'm gonna be honest, CPA, late 2010s were really an awkward time in the community, if I can be honest with you.
Interesting.
I miss it. I do, right? But it just was, I think Tyler can probably agree with me. It just was, the vibes were just off. Brick Show gets deleted. That was kind of like just weird. We were all going through our like early young adult high school kind of phases, I've done plenty of things I'm not proud of, and I'm sure Tyler can say the same thing. We all can, right? And that's like something I want to stress is like, again, with like my recent video about the day, I call it the day because the day sounds better than the weekend.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
It does.
But like with that kind of stuff, like we were all young, like that's something I really wanted to stress, right? Is a lot of people, a lot of AFOLs like that come in when they're older, they didn't really have to grow up in this community. And that's not like saying like, oh, you don't belong here. You're not an old head. But it's more so just like you didn't have to have all your uncomfortable moments on YouTube or this or that. It's no hate. I just want to be honest, right?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Look at Tyler's recent comment. A lot of smack talking drama and BTS and private chat and private streams. We just were high school kids that had way too much time on our hands, and we should have been focused on cleaning our collection, building our sets, sorting our Lego, but instead we wanted to get into petty beef. I'm guilty of it. He's guilty of it. Anyone from my generation is guilty of it. But post 2020, when we're coming to Brickworld in 2022, thank God for that 3-year break.
Honestly, I mean,
2 conventions, but 3 years. I grew so much as a person. I've grown up so much as a person between 24 and 22, but 2019 and 22, God, I'm honestly glad that break happened because I think we all matured greatly.
Yeah, Mark's like, all right, these online kids, they're great, or they're going to be great. They need to grow up a little bit, but
yes,
we'll make it, and certainly we've made it. So,
but yes, that's something I want to also just talk about real quick. But so are we talking about 22 or 23 now? I'm so sorry.
So yeah,
I'm getting lost.
We're talking about 23. Like since I didn't get there till Saturday, 23. I guess the vibes, how things, Wednesday into Thursday. Of course, it's been a pleasure to catch up on Brent's Bricks vlogs that he's posted for Hype for 24, which honestly is a great thing that he's done over there. Just having a look back into what all happened in 23 last year, which was awesome. So you were in a lot of those. So kind of what were you seeing in 23 in those first couple private days, and any real behind the scenes? It just seemed like a really great,
it was
positive time for everyone, but just crazy.
So again, 2022 is when you start to see more non-Star Wars people show up. 23 even more. Now, honestly, Star Wars mock builders that are YouTubers are almost in the minority, if I'm being honest, right?
Yeah.
23 was amazing for me, really, for like the network. I hate to use that word, networking, especially when it comes to Lego YouTube, but it's networking, right? I was able to connect with so many people that I had known of online, but actually like putting a name to a face and meeting them in person and getting a nerd out about content was fantastic. I remember I met like Tyler, I hung out with him a little bit. He was obviously going around different places with different people, so was I. We all kind of were just jumping around. And that's the beauty of the private days. You're going to like just bounce around from people to people, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually really beautiful, right? But like Tyler got me talking to like Stud City. I met Bricking Up Brad. We were nerding out about Castle and stuff. Yeah. I met so many YouTubers and creators and just was able to be like, here's what I do. What do you do? This and that. Like, oh, that's cool. Talk about content. All these different things. It was just everywhere you went, you saw someone. If you even just wanted to stand in one place for like 5 minutes, you're gonna meet someone in those 5 minutes, if not even sooner.
100%.
Everywhere you went, there was someone, and everyone was in the mood to talk. Even if you didn't know someone, if you had a mutual friend, you immediately started talking. I met the Twitch people. I met Instagram/TikTok people. I met so many people. And Tyler's quote, yeah, you give Richie a beer and he'll talk to you, no problem. That is also
Nice.
true. But it was just like, I think for me, what really helped was that I was older. I think I turned
Yeah.
21 right before BRICKWORLD Chicago. And I'm like, yeah, like we're all like here to go. We're all like a bunch of Lego nerds that are here
Mm-hmm.
to nerd out. And like a lot of us create content too. Like just nerd out with people. And it was fantastic. It was on, it was really rewarding though for me was getting to reconnect with a lot of the Star Wars guys that I met back in the
Back in
late
the day. Yeah.
2010s, 2018, 2019. I had a lot of discussions with people like Adorier Lego Studios, Brick Builder Studios, some really nice guys that I've known for years. And it was like, look at us, like we're all grown up, like we're growing up, and like their mocks are getting better. My content is getting better. We're able to like be like, hey, like you're bringing a lot to the table. That was really rewarding. But I'd say, embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone there is a little nervous, a little scared,
Oh yeah.
but we're all there because we're Lego nerds that make content online. Like, but
100%.
we're fun. It's like just vibe out. If you see someone like again, like ask them or see if it's cool if you kind of walk around with them. That is something I really need to make
Mm-hmm.
clear. Please ask. Okay. I
Yes.
know when I was younger, I probably didn't always ask, take a picture, or walk around. But I very quickly realized, hey, if I want to like walk around with you, say like, hey, you cool if I stroll around with you? You cool if I get a pic? Please, please just ask,
Yep.
okay? And most people will say yes. If they need some time to themselves, they're not being
Mm-hmm.
an asshole. Oh,
Yep.
I'm my bad. I almost swore even more.
Bleep.
But
No.
people want to be social and they want
Yeah.
to meet new people. The beauty of Brickworld is meeting new people and making friends
Mm-hmm.
there that you can carry on online. That's the
100%.
coolest thing.
And we're kind
Uh,
of getting into your question, Ostef, and this will bleed a little into 2024, but this is a really good question. It's yes and no. It's awkward just because anytime you go anywhere and it's your first time going somewhere you've never been before, even if you know some people there, there's just, tension of where do I park? Where's the entryway? Where do I get my badge if I need it? Where do I get this? Where's the hotel? So all that stuff is definitely understandable. People will always be there to help you if you ask. I mean, you can always message anyone on Instagram like, "Oh, hey, can you drop me a pin of, where to go for XYZ?" But yeah, like what Richie said, always remember that while we're all still a pretty tight group in general, I'd say like more than the average, whatever social groups you're involved in, this is a pretty tight group in general. And Austin, if you're already in the group, to kind of throw that out there, you're in the group, but you still need to be respectful of other people's space, because like Richie said, stuff can get crazy really, really quick, and people need a breather.
yes.
You don't necessarily want to be someone's literal shadow the entire weekend. So you don't want to be like, unless, if you ask them, like Richie said, ask them, hey, do you mind if I like just hang out with you for a little bit? Or do you want to walk around and see the different
Not awkward
mocks
at all.
together?
100%,
Yeah.
100%, like very appreciative actually,
And if they say no, like don't take it personally. It's just like I said, might need a break. If I say no, it might be because I haven't talked to my wife in a couple hours, and it's generally good to talk to your significant other fairly on a regular basis. So making sure that she's doing all right, or just taking a breather, going to the bathroom, XYZ, so many factors, but definitely try to make those connections pretty early on, just so you have a couple different people to point to and to talk to. So like, and an amazing thing that you could do is meet other people where it's their first time. So I think Cooper, it's going to be his first time. I think it might be Squidman's first time. So I know they're already connected to other groups, smaller groups within the community. So you'll be able to kind of flesh out into other friend groups and meet other people. So it's just a really nice conglomeration of friends. Like we're already friends with everyone in chat, as I see names scrolling through, I just I know people, even if I haven't met them yet or talked to them yet. I just know. Okay, Squidman has no. I don't think Squidman has been before, actually, Cooper. If you're,
you don't know.
I don't think he has, because someone in one of the tournaments, one of the foosball tournaments, someone entered themselves as Squidman, but they weren't the real Squidman. I know that for a fact. Anyways, irrelevant for this current conversation.
What if we're all Squidman?
We are all Squidman. But do you know that Scott, you know Scott, he's like the member of everyone's channel in the Lego YouTube community?
Not me. I don't have channel members.
But you know Scott.
Yeah, Scott.
He's not, allegedly, at this point, he's not going.
Yeah.
Dude, like, Scott, you have to go. I want it, because the way I saw it going is any YouTuber who he's a channel of, which I'm sure if you could turn on channel members today, and somehow he would know, he would get a notification, and he would become a channel member right away. So I thought it'd be
the ones never when I turn it on for 30 minutes. Remember that, CPA?
I remember
no
that.
one's joining.
And I wanted to get a picture with Scott with all the channels he's a member of. I thought that would just be a cool photo, because there would be so many.
That would be, dude. That would be like so much aura. It'd be like, this man is like bankrolling these YouTubers.
Yeah. And no, Wilbricks, my wife, Mrs. CPA, is going to be at BRICKWORLD Thursday evening through the weekend. She does have to work on Friday, so she won't be there during the day, but she will be there. So I'm excited for that as well. Let's see what other. Hey, Tyler is hype right now.
There he is.
The stream
he comes
is
out
what
of the
he needed.
shadows.
There's Scott. Scott Davis.
If I turn
come
on
on.
members, will you join? I need to know yes or no.
Scott will join before you even make it public. Kathleen, thanks for stopping by. Kathleen asks, are you going to stream yourself going to this convention, record videos, or what? So my plan is, that's a really good question. I am planning right now to do the Saturday podcast at BRICKWORLD Chicago on Saturday. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but I am bringing my gear, my camera. I have some travel mics like these. So I have a setup that is, it's definitely going to be better than last year. So certainly going to be better than last year, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting year to say the least, just with a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, all that to say, I am planning on doing the Saturday podcast. The time will fluctuate, but I'll be uploading to my Instagram story. I'll be active in that respect. So if you're following me on Instagram at the Lego CPA, you will certainly be able to see the information there and be notified very, very early on. And yeah, Austin,
I just want to
we'll get a photo. You can get a photo at any point. So that's not an issue at all.
Want to give a shout out to Will Bricks Productions for the Instagram story shout out.
Woo!
We appreciate it, man. I'm glad to know the podcast is hitting today.
Dude, it really is. This is definitely the biggest podcast view-wise and just chat
we're at 19
chat rate wise.
Viewers?
Dude, we've been like 19 to 20, basically 19 to 30 the whole time. It's been crazy.
You think this is going to be the biggest CPA podcast?
It already is, by far. 100%
Let's go!
By far.
Let's go, baby.
The people needed Richie and the people needed the lore. And while you're all in there, make sure, and I'm pretty sure you all have liked the stream already, make sure you like the stream. If you're new here, if you've come here for Richie or at this point for Will, all that stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel because, we'll be live at BRICKWORLD next or a week from today. And hey, maybe I'll drop in some other streams because anything can happen at BRICKWORLD Chicago, and that's a fact. So
yes, anything can, including channel deletion.
Anything can, and except now that'd be wild if my channel got deleted. It wouldn't be because of me.
Who's gonna get deleted this time?
Yeah. Well, you're wearing a Mayo Hosco, his Sig Fig shirt, so I figured his channel is probably gonna get deleted for some weird reason.
Very funny.
Hey, your shirt
I'm
is
sorry,
predicting
Mayo.
it.
Mayo, you're being cursed by CPA. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no. No, it's gonna be so fun. So yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, 25
2023.
bucks.
I think how about you tell me what 2023 was like for you? I want to hear your experience.
Thanks,
Lay
Austin,
it
for
out
another
there. I've been yapping
199.
the whole time. I want to.
All right, yeah. Let me just get a nice little sip real quick.
Hey, cheers. Celsius, the best energy drink, baby.
If Mrs. CPA can hear you, she'll preach the dangers of Celsius. She found out I drink a Celsius at work and was like, "Don't drink those. They're bad." But I don't know. I haven't done the research, so I don't know. That's just hearsay, evidently.
Exactly.
Anyways,
You're not gonna do it.
Life Bricks, Tyler dropping all the emojis. There's gonna be one more added after because we have all the a couple more members. Do you know what this means? Family Guy funny moments. Tell OurToyWorld I lost the game.
Do
you know-
ignore that. I think it might be someone I know from in real life might have seen it on my story of me posting like join the stream. So
Thank you, moments.
sorry about that.
Intern for 8 months. Appreciate it. Tyler, I don't think she would approve of any energy drink, honestly. She's not.
Lame.
She doesn't
I'm
like
sorry,
those.
Mrs. CPA, but
I drink Monsters, so we'll see. Anyways, okay, 2023. Let's get back to the main programming. 2023. So I got there. Well, first off, and I'm going to talk for a while now. Richie gets to listen. 2023 was an interesting year because I originally was going to go with some friends to BRICKWORLD Chicago from college. And they unfortunately had to back out like the week before. So I thought I was initially not going to go because I'm certainly an introvert. I prefer not to go to places where I don't know anyone. And so I was kind of just like, do I really want to spend my Saturday driving to Chicago, driving back, and really kind of maybe it being lame, not really seeing anyone. Not lame because of the event was lame, but lame because I was just going to go in, walk around, and leave. And so I was worried about that. And like, is it going to be worth it? Am I actually going to use this as an opportunity to, what we talked about earlier, network with other people? Because it truly was, spoiler alert, it was networking that happened for me, by all means. So I was like, was I actually going to do any of that? Was I going to be outgoing? Was I going to talk to people? I wanted to interview a handful of people, or basically as many people as I could for the channel. So I definitely wanted to get some content and stuff like that. You want to butt in for a little bit?
I have one quick question, just so I kind of know where you were coming from. When you were gonna go with your friends, right? Was the idea like I'm gonna make some content, or more so just like, hey, like if I meet anyone, I'll just casually say, oh, I'm the Lego CPA. I'm kind of new to this. Like, what was kind of like in your mindset when you're originally going with your friends, right? Because obviously, I've brought like normal friends before, and it's like I'm still the YouTuber, but it's not like I'm there for that completely. You gotta be with your friends,
Yeah.
So what was kind of like the outlook when you were supposed to go with them?
It was a little bit of both. So I definitely would have probably dressed the same, done all that stuff the same with them there, because they're huge Lego. Like, so the other guy, one of the guys I was going to go with is Brickotomy, that's normally on this podcast as a co-host. So he was going to be one of them.
You guys go back?
Yeah, we go back to college. And then the other guy would have been coming, more lore, coming down from Wisconsin, also a huge Lego fan. Kind of all of us, and with the addition of one other guy who lives in Texas. So unfortunately, he wouldn't have been able to come. We're all like huge Lego guys, AFOLs. We love Lego, love Star Wars. So it all kind of meshes together in that respect. So they would have definitely understood like, oh yeah, you like get your content, get your interviews in, whatever you want to do. We can just kind of hang out and hang around and whatever needs to happen. So yeah,
cool.
It probably would have, well, looking back, and whenever I go into a new place where I don't know anyone, but I'm with people, I tend to just stick with those people. So
Uh-huh.
in retrospect, it was definitely better that I went by myself because I was forced by myself to be an extrovert and to talk to other people and just to get out there a little more and meet as many people as I could, just because I didn't have that anchor or safety blanket of like, oh, if I'm not doing anything, I can just go hang out with my friends and really be like, not waste time, obviously, because if I'm spending it with friends, it's still a good time, but like waste potential time meeting new people and making good connections. So
Yeah.
it definitely, in retrospect, was a good thing that I went by myself. But then on that Wednesday before, I made a video. You got to make your announcement video saying that you're going to BRICKWORLD Chicago. Obviously, as the Lego CPA, I think the channel was live for a little over a month. I probably had a couple of videos out by that point. I think I had 200 subscribers. No, I probably maybe had a little over 100. I think, because I'm just thinking there's no way I had 300 subs in a month. There's just no way. No way whatsoever. So I was going to use it as a networking event. Literally the night before I went, I made a little Word doc, went to CVS and had them print out the thing I used for my little magnet badge that I attached to my suit jacket. So I literally got that the night before. I got all that prep together. Was pretty last minute. Kind of was testing out, okay, can I actually stream when I'm there? Can I stream from my phone? Does my phone work if I plug it in, or does my mic work if I plug it directly into my phone? Doing all that kind of technical stuff literally the night before I left. So it was a little haphazard, but it definitely worked out. And so got there at around 10:30-ish. The line when I got there at 10:30 for the general line was long. Like, it was zigzagged a lot just to get in the actual convention at 10:30 a.m.
No, yeah. I'm
So
planning on showing up early, honestly.
yeah, so that was why I was going to try to get there a little earlier, but I think just overall, how it worked out, I unfortunately wasn't able to get there as early as I wanted to. But, in the grand scheme of things, still very, very early, and it definitely worked out. So I remember it was. Go ahead. Yeah,
I
you
have
can
one
jump
more
in.
question. Sorry. I know you mentioned that obviously, like, you don't like, you're kind of an introvert. So, you're going to this brand new place by yourself in a suit, carrying around camera equipment. How did you deal with that mentally? Or was it kind of just like I'm here to get content. No one really knows who I am. Like, it's all right. Like, if this goes bad, I don't have to ever come back here again. Like, I'm getting
Yeah,
content. I'm getting video. Was that kind of like what the mindset was? Like, this
yeah,
sucks, but I'm getting the work in for my channel, or what?
yeah. It kind of was that of like, I feel like not like I feel like an idiot, but I feel like I stand out because I'm literally the only person wearing a suit jacket. I'm wearing, what did I wear? No, I wore my black pants, the navy suit jacket, and then a shirt and tie. So I was like
Yeah,
dressed up, ready to go.
dress for
And
success.
so I was like, I'm going to stand out. I just got to kind of embrace it. So it did definitely take a little bit to embrace my outfit. And to me, within an hour or two, it was just normal what I was wearing. And if someone saw me, I was going to stand out to them. And honestly, one of the funniest parts was that people thought I was a lot more important than I was because I was wearing a suit jacket. Like this, I remember this one guy, he walked up to me and he goes, so like, are you the CPA? So I see your badge says Lego CPA. Are you like the CPA for all of these YouTube content creators or all these people here? Like, are you their personal accountants? And I was like, no. Like, it's just the channel that I've created, blah, blah, blah. So now that actually I just literally just have CPA on my shirt, it's going to be more interesting, to say the least, of how I
You get my
explain to the
taxes.
new people. But let's see. Oh, thanks, Sean, hopping in chat. Let's see what he said. CPA was money from the get-go. One of the network connections near the middle end of the day was Sean, which was certainly a great connection, to say the least. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Brent. I didn't I wasn't really apprised to the ACOB podcast at that point. So I didn't really know. Sean had to explain it to me what the whole thing was because, their shirt said ACOB. And
Yep.
so it was kind of, in retrospect, it was really funny thinking of him explaining to me now that, of course, we know all of it. I know all of it. So that was pretty funny. But, hey, Richie, your suit is getting some love last year on Sunday because you wore a suit on Sunday, right?
I did, because I was inspired by you, and H2 Brick was starting to wear suits to conventions. I was like, it's my turn. Oh, real quick before you get back to your lore dump, I'm sorry. I just want to say another really key moment of Brickworld is be content and be okay with meeting people and creators that you don't know. Like, they might have a ton of followers and this and that, and you might be like, damn, I feel like a jerk. I don't know them. Embrace it.
Yeah.
I met Macro Bricks at Brickworld. I met Brent and Sean at Brickworld 2022. We like cross paths, so it's like, that's kind of got me into them in the first place. No like lasting really connection because they were really busy, and they were honestly barely there in 2022. I think they were kind of like enjoying Chicago, and like I think Sean only came in for like a day or two. That's neither here nor there though. CPA, like I barely knew him when I met him. Titanium J, like a guy I'm really close with. I go to the Lego store with this man all the time. We never knew each other online. We met at Brickworld. Like, be content and excited to meet people in person that you have no clue what they do online. Because believe it or not, they're probably going to become some of your closest online
100%.
friends and collaborators and all of that.
Yeah, and that's 100% true. Because one of the first people I met was Richie. And when we started talking, the floor was pretty empty. I don't remember why. If people just were kind of still in the lobby or what the reasoning was. But I met you first, I feel. And it was kind of funny because I had in my channel, I had gone in a couple of Ryan's streams that he had done. I think one of them was whether or not we were getting a new gunship. So just kind of for the play scale gunship, that kind of stuff. So I had been in a stream as the Lego CPA, and then even on my other channel that I started doing Lego a little bit before I just created a new brand, he made me a mod on his channel, which was kind of cool. So I was like, I'm the same person, make me a mod on your channel. And eventually, of course, he made it. So when I was walking into Brickworld for the first time on Saturday, I had my camera, my phone hooked up to my tripod and like up in the air so it could be up high. And I was just like, doing some shifts and stuff. And I was walking by and Ryan saw my badge and he gave me like a little head nod. And I gave him a head nod back and I was like, yo, how did he like recognize me? Like, what on earth? So that was kind of cool. It turns out I actually hadn't even, I forgot to click record. So I didn't even record that, which is like, okay, well, that's lame. But, man, yeah, so seeing him, seeing obviously a bunch of mocks, they're all over the place. Talking to you pretty much right away, which we covered that. And then the rest is kind of like a little bit of a whirlwind because I talked to Josh Build Stuff, which I had seen him on several of Ryan's videos, meeting Sans, seen him on several of Ryan's videos. And then, of course, seeing, Emmasaurus, Holly on Film, who else? I still kick myself so much that I didn't meet Duck Bricks last year. I didn't know who he was, so that didn't help.
He is awesome.
And I wasn't like into the Bionicle content yet at that point. I was just getting back into Bionicle. I remember literally when I got back home from Brickworld that day, I had a huge pack of Bionicle that I had purchased from eBay that got there that day. So was just getting like back into it and stuff. And so mad that I didn't get to meet him because that would have been an awesome connection, certainly. But he's probably like top 3 for my list this year of people to meet and to connect with. So unfortunately didn't get to meet him, but of course got to talk to Ryan. And so that was fun. Just my kind of, I guess, turned into my safe spot was just hanging out behind the mega store, just because it was like the one area where people weren't conglomerating.
And you get my charger. I'm going to be in the room though. Still, don't worry.
Worries. So it was like the one spot where people weren't congealing and they would walk past it. So I was able to kind of sit there because literally for the first probably 3 hours of the day, I didn't sit, and I kept my backpack on the whole time. And I had to hold, my janky system was I had to hold my my sound audio interface under my arm, hold my mic, hold all the cords, make sure my phone was hooked up properly to the mic system so it would actually pick up from the mic and not the phone microphone. So it was just so like, oh my goodness, so not the best system by any means, but it worked.
No.
Like it did what I needed to do for the day, because I interviewed this awesome Castlemocker. He was like, I think he's about 70, 74 years old, mid-70s. And, he'd literally got into Lego when it first came to America in the early 80s. So, like, talking to him was so cool. Do you remember the big, right next to the Bricker Builds and Ryan's, where Ryan was, and the M&R Megastore, there was that huge build of, it was a Canadian Prince Edward Island or something like that, just that big. Do you remember what I'm talking about? By Bricker Builds. I can just look it up on my channel because I know.
I'm going to be honest. I'm starting to get to the point where with BRICKWORLD, where like I love the mocks. I try to look at the mocks, but with how much I'm
it's not.
For lack of a better term, for how much I'm talking to people and this and that, like, man, I love the mocks, but just like there's only so much I can do, and then it gets to the public days, and I'm like, I can't move around, and it's not. Oh, by the way,
Nova Scotia. It was Nova Scotia city, and so I was able to interview him, which was awesome. Surely you remember the huge Cyberpunk City mock that was over by the lugs, over by Empire Lug in the corner. Surely you remember that one. It was like 14 feet tall.
Oh, New Hashima or New Hashima.
Yeah. So I interviewed that guy. Which what's it? Is it Quick
Stefan, right?
Stefan. Yep, Stefan Formentano with the New Hashima City.
There's some crazy lore with that guy. Like, one of my friends used to live down in Alabama, and I think he used to work at like a Lego store down there.
Oh, no way.
And that was like his Lego store manager. He's known for like a decade or something like that.
That's so cool. Yeah, he was super awesome. And the reason I actually got connected with him to be able to do the interview at all was, do you remember, I think it's Quick Build Bricks, the guy that was just dressed like General Krennic? Did you remember seeing that guy?
Who?
He was dressed like General Krennic from Rogue One. I think it's Quick Build Bricks. Someone in the chat will have to remind me if I'm saying that accurately.
Hey, yo, we got 27 people watching.
What? Yo, we got to get to 30. We're so close. I think I maybe got to 31.
We are cooking on this stream
with Firebird when I had him in January, but it wasn't like a sustained 30. I think we sustained at like the mid-teens. So this sustained mid-20s is awesome. I'm sure
Tyler,
many of you have liked the stream already.
Story. Tyler, put this on your IG.
I don't know if we're ready for that, but we'll roll with it. He's probably going to be like, hey, once you get to 3 hours, then I'll put it on the IG. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because now he's... CPA had a Acolyte press tour moment. What did I do? Oh, I couldn't remember. Oh, no, yeah, I couldn't remember the lore. I couldn't remember the name of the city. Nova Scotia. Anyways, oh, no, General Krennic, I think he was Quick Build Bricks. He was super outgoing, super cool. He got me the interview with Stefan. I was just kind of standing there, like, doing my own thing, and he's like, oh, are you interviewing people? Oh, you need to interview this guy.
The suit works.
I mean, pretty much. And he, like, pulled me over. He's like, this guy, you need to talk to this guy. And then Stefan looked at me. He's like, "Oh, you want to do an interview?" And I was like, "Yeah, let me just go set it up." And even the attendees are super nice about interviews and stuff. They'll be kind and they'll kind of step out of the way, give you a little bit of space and stuff like that. So It was Director Krennic. I thought it was a general. Oh my goodness.
Dude, what kind of Star Wars fan are you? I barely buy Star Wars, and I know it's Director Krennic. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
This is the sequels fan here, guys. I found him. I found the sequels fan.
Yeah, Tyler, we're gonna stay live for at least 30 minutes because we haven't even talked about our expectations for 2024 yet.
I still need to hear the rest of your Brickworld 2023 lore because I interrupted with how I said that you should meet other. I apologize for that.
No, dude, you're good. We are chilling. I definitely am gonna have a task because I'm gonna go back and timestamp this whole stream so people can kind of click.
Dude, we're gonna clip this so much too. There's so much clippable content in this stream. I think you guys can agree, right? Like, you can make a little history of or what's the lore of or the lake. You can make a video like the event that changed Lego YouTube forever, and you can just clip all my my lore talk.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go back and you know how we were talking about remixing stuff into shorts.
Yes.
The week after a live stream, if it's kind of a solid live stream, I can remix 2 to 3 shorts from a normal live stream. For this one, I could do 10 leading up to Brickworld on Wednesday, Thursday, and hopefully get some attention, and maybe people in the area can recognize Brickworld and potentially go. Okay, 2023. Yes, I did interview a lot of mock builders, and going back on my channel, I wanted to make sure to get the 2 I wanted to get up right away. Well, the first one was the awkward interview with Ryan, which was a pretty funny interview. Also, the part of the reason why I wanted to bring up Director Krennic, who from my memory is Quick Build Bricks on Instagram. It was him, me, and Ryan at the very, very end of the day. We were just kind of in next to the Megastore talking, and I was completely content with being done recording for the day. Didn't want to have to set up the janky system again and to make sure everything was ready to go. He was like, dude, because he probably thought I was hanging around still just because I wanted to get an interview from Ryan, which totally fair. Definitely a valid thought process. But I was just like, nah, dude, I'm good, man. And Ryan was about to go in 5 minutes, and then Quick Build Bricks was like, oh, wait, why do you have to go? Who's telling you to go? They're not ready yet. So he's stalling for me. He's like, all right, no, dude, set up your stuff now. Ryan's going to be over here to give you an interview. I'm going to stall them. You've got 5 minutes, and then we're going to go. So that's why when you watch in the video, you can hear me saying, oh, Director Krennic is stalling, blah, 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 because that literally was actually what was happening. And
you call him director or general?
I think Ryan got the lore right and said Director Krennic. So that's why I called it an awkward interview, because I literally had nothing planned for what to talk about in the interview, and I was just making stuff on the fly, literally, what am I going to talk about? And that was part of the reason why I tried to make it as memey as possible with just as many jump cuts and editing. Yeah,
But it was just naturally awkward just based on the timing, and you were just kind of done with content? Or just kind of...
I'm more so just leaning into it. Yeah, I was leaning into the awkwardness. And it literally, it wasn't awkward. I just kind of leaned into the awkward of I would say it should have been called unprepared interview, but awkward interview obviously is a better packaging than calling it unprepared interview, because it was literally just unprepared. So that was kind of the main thought behind that process for that video. But that was a fun video, and I think Cooper said up top, he said that was how he found the channel, which is super cool. So I was glad to see that was his introduction to the channel.
Oh, real quick lore dump. I think what's really fascinating about you doing an awkward interview with Emendar Productions in that video, I know that video really took off and was probably a good boost for your channel, especially post Brickworld, was that so my 2017 interview with Emendar, of course, there was actually a friend of mine named Ultimate Bricks, and he remixed that interview to make an awkward interview with Emendar Productions. So he came up with his list of questions and then took Emendar's answers, rearranged them, And I don't know. That's just a fun little tidbit because when else am I
Nice.
going to mention that? So I also have been in part of an awkward Emendar interview. So I was first CPA.
Yeah, you did mention that to me when we were. I can't remember. It had to have been after, but I know you mentioned. Yeah, it's true. You were the first. But I'm gonna try and make it an annual thing, where I interview Ryan on an annual basis, and I want to add people to that. Like, I mean, yeah. So as far as content for me for 2024, and we're still not to the technically to the 2024 section of this stream, but that's one thing I don't want to do. I'm not going to do vlogs. I recorded a
No.
bunch of vlogging footage for last year. Still haven't edited it together. At this point, not going to edit it together. But I just want to do interviews with people, interviews with like the good mock sets, the good mock builds. I don't just want to do, someone built a janky Moss Eisley section. Like, yeah, I'm not going to interview them. Just because of a time thing. Like last year, I was just trying to get as many interviews as possible. This year, I'm going to really focus on kind of the higher quality stuff. Partially because I think there's certainly an open market out there for those kinds of interviews. Because not to throw any shade at YouTube channels out there that make a living off looking at mocks across the country, but I think it can be done a lot better and more professionally and just better overall. So I know if you watch my channel, I do a lot of one shot videos, and that works for the news content, the news set releases. But for when you're looking at mocks, I mean, you gotta have some cuts. You gotta make it better than just all right, I'm here with such and such, and we're gonna go through this build here, and we're gonna see like, and you can see here this, you can see here that, yes, we all can see. It's we all have eyes. Anyways, that was a slight tangent there. That I just need to get off my chest in anticipation for Brickworld. But 2023. Yeah, I met so many people. Like you brought up Bricking Up Brad. I met him just literally by chance. We literally ran into each other. I think I was talking to... No, I think you introduced me to him. You and I were talking, and then he came up and was talking to you. And then you're like, oh yeah, this is Lego CPA. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm Brad. And so he and I talked for, I think so. Because I don't know who else would have.
I'll never forget.
Introduced.
I felt bad, right? Because like again, what I do with CPA, I do not recommend. I just knew him and I were going to be friends. That is really not a healthy way to look at things.
That's true.
I understand that, and I knew that at the time. But I'm like, this guy, we are going to be friends. I'm like, he's like, there's no way we are not going to be friends. Again, not healthy at all. But sometimes your intuition does work, right? Knowing full well that's not what you should socially do. But I'd like to think that hopefully I made it easier for you that like someone knew you there immediately first. But I remember I brought CPA over to the Ninjago concert, and immediately I was thinking in my head, I'm like, this guy should really leave. Like he doesn't seem like he's in Ninjago. He should go look at the mocks. I just dragged him over here. When you were like, I'm leaving, I'm like, good. I think I told you that later. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just kind of got excited by Ninjago, and I was like, come along.
Yeah.
Without knowing that you have no interest or relation in Ninjago, and it was your one day at Brickworld,
Yeah, that was part of it was like, I felt bad because I didn't sign up for anything. So I was like, I'm taking someone's spot, even though obviously in retrospect, I wasn't taking anyone's spot, but just like, and hey, maybe I should have, because then I probably would have met Duck Bricks, because I would have been like, who is that? I would have asked you, who is that crazy Lego? Who's that crazy guy up there in the middle, like dancing like crazy and singing the song in the microphone? And then you would be like, oh, that's Duck Bricks. You want to meet him? So in retrospect, I should have stayed, but it's all good. It's all good. No regrets.
No, none. You can't have any. You're not going to meet everyone. That's the other big thing. You're not going to look at every mock. You're not going to meet every person. You're not going to get a chance to look at every store.
Mm-hmm.
But it's life.
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm sorry. You can be there all 5 days. Trust me, you're gonna be like, how did I not meet this person? It happens. Trust me.
And I did also one of the highlights because they do a pretty good job of just their. I think saw them several times with ads or just their builds are amazing. Bricker builds. They're very like the Pokemon or the clone helmets. Just so many of their builds designed by Built Bricks, who's an awesome dude. Um, saw them and saw him also because he's got all the lightsaber mocks. So he's
Mm,
designed every single one of those. So I definitely knew I wanted to interview him because he flew in from Australia. And sadly enough, I interviewed him, one of the first people, I think. And that was still when I was getting the whole mic situation figured out on my camera. And so I interviewed him, but the mic wasn't plugged in properly. So the whole footage was unusable because the audio quality was just, you couldn't hear me at all and you could hear him a little bit. So that I was so mad about that because I was looking forward to talking to him, and and he's not coming this year
see,
either. So
see, CPA. That's what happens when
it
when you're
happened.
so high tech, man. My phone, this thing that I used to record all my audio and my video
Oh my
and my
goodness.
visuals when I do visuals from myself, never fails me.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
It's
kidding though.
it's wild.
But you
Yeah.
needed a mic in that convention hall. God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, the footage, if any of you go back and I think I have a whole playlist for BRICKWORLD 2023 videos. Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool to hear the hum of the crowd behind you, but just yeah, the
You
quality
don't
with the
want.
microphone, yeah, was definitely great.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and I did get to meet Beyond the Brick, which was cool, just because they post so many videos and they're all over the place. So it was cool to meet him, one of the brothers, and then yeah, to talk to some of the Bricker Builds people was awesome, just because they do a lot of good work, a lot of great designs and stuff like that. So that was awesome to meet I think it was the owner I was able to meet. But yeah, everyone's just super chill. No one that I talk to has a superiority complex. Everyone's just like, dude, we're all just people. And so in some respect, part of the what's the right word for it? Not the limelight or the allure or just the starstruck. Like I don't see myself getting starstruck at all, but it's in a good way of like we're all just fans of Lego. We're all normal people.
Exactly. No, yeah.
Let's see.
That's a great point. Honestly, that's another piece of advice. Drop the user again, like you're gonna call them by your username, but just remember you're both people. Like whether it's someone's career, whether they have 100,000 or 100, we're all Lego nerds that make content online
100%.
and consume content online. At the end of the day, all we want to do is just, if they have a bigger collection than you, if they have more experience at Brickworld than you, it doesn't matter. Just be yourself and be normal and be cool, and you're gonna have a blast. Trust me.
100%. Which then I think finally leads us to 2024. What we expect from 2024. We are a mere 4 days away from BRICKWORLD Chicago 2024. And man, I'm keeping everything as pretty much open as possible just because I don't know entirely what to expect. I know somewhat, like I'm going to connect with, obviously, you and I are going to talk. Brick Fleet is going this year, which is awesome. So many
I
people,
can't
like I
wait.
said, that were on the fence last year are going this year, which is so cool. So I guess maybe, we could talk about who are you, because, we said this is like a networking thing for
Mm-hmm.
me, for you as well. Who are you looking forward to networking with that's new the most?
London Bridge Bricks from the UK. I want to meet all the UK people that are showing up that haven't been there before. Brick Fleet, of course, I can't wait to see and meet. Um, Let me think. Who else is coming for the first time? honestly, part of what's awesome is I really don't know who's coming. Like, I have an idea, right? Like I'm like, I know this person, this and that. But the same, I'm like prepared to be shocked. Like, oh, I had no clue you were coming. Or like, oh, this is such a cliche answer. I'm excited to meet people that I don't even know exist. And that sounds
Exactly.
like because I love that part of it. Um, that is some of the best connections I've made are people that are online that I never cross paths with that I meet at Brickworld and then we become close. It's the best.
It's true. And,
Um,
and yeah, like I,
how
I
about
can have
you?
my list. Like I said, I'm super excited to meet Duck Bricks. Shy, I'm super excited to meet Shy. I haven't met him yet in person. We talked a little bit. He's helped me out with some little tips and tricks with just content organization, which has been awesome. But I don't. Who else am I excited to meet? Those two come to mind the most. Obviously, Brent and I, we've talked a lot in the ACOB podcast and stuff like that. So definitely excited to meet him in person. But it's going to be super fun. And okay, so you know how I just realized this like a week ago. You know how they were initially going to charge for the Fold concert?
Yeah.
It's free now. They switched it back to free.
What?
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's a little bit of lore dump for anyone in the chat that
You
thought the Fold
explain.
concert was gonna be was gonna be, I think it was like $12, but now it's free. So hey,
Yeah.
if you want to go to the Fold concert, which I have added it to my docket, so I guess at this point I have to go. I don't have a choice. But I can only imagine they refunded people that purchased a ticket. I would think so. But hey, you never know.
Yeah, we do not know. That's a great point. That's crazy though. And then I'll pull up. I mean, I wasn't too sweating about. It wasn't like the $12 that bothered me. Just like the do I have to pay online? I'm really bad at like pre. I'm the guy that bought his 2022 Brickworld full pass on Wednesday night, not like Tuesday night, Wednesday night. So already
Ooh,
after the setup, I was like, I guess I'll go to Brickworld now. So
nice.
don't. I procrastinate ticket purchases, okay? I'm really bad at that. But that's neither here nor there. We don't need to go into
Because
that part of my life.
then you miss the early bird discount. You can't be missing that early bird discount.
Oh, I always do. I always do.
I guess if you're
I'm
expecting it,
I'm
then
I'm one of the people that gets not the early bird discount, but the late
the late
attendee
the
fee.
day of.
um
Nice.
I mean, I don't know. I did say yes to this podcast like 2 weeks ago, so I'm proud of
Dude.
myself for that.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, I will be here. I will make sure it happens, and I did.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
wanted to
proud of
make
that.
sure to give you a fair heads up. Didn't want to, I know I'm sure you're a busy man. You've got plans. So I wanted to make sure that this plan was set in stone before anything else had a chance.
Exactly.
So, all right, 24, I mean, like we said, with the snowball effect from 22 to 23, and then what I believe is going to be the snowball from 23 into 24, what kind of things are you expecting, I guess, event-wise? Because I don't know if have you looked at the events that are going on yet? No. So
It's one
we
of those
can,
things where what just with my work schedule and then some
yeah,
stuff going on at
yeah,
home, I'm obviously not going to be able to go for the private days this year,
yep,
which honestly, I'll be honest, blows, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I what's it called? I don't what was I gonna say? I don't like I'm not like a hater, like I don't want to see what the schedule is like. It's
Yeah,
just like I haven't looked at it just
yeah,
because
that's
like
fair.
I don't need to look at it. It's not
Yeah.
like just and, like that sounds bad, but I'm just being honest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
but that's kind of sad. I wish next
Yeah,
year I
yeah, yeah.
promise next year, trust me. But you go on. What are
Well,
you excited
I
about?
mean, there's just some, and a lot of it is like are you planning on coming part of the day Saturday or all day Saturday? Because a lot of the events really are Saturday, Sunday of the things that I'm
So
referring to.
here's my plan, right? So like there's a one Lego store in the area that I live close to. I'm not gonna just say I might have said in the chat though, but that's neither
Hmm.
here nor there, right? Plenty of people from the convention will end up at that store, that one Lego store that I go to. So
Yeah.
my one plan is that like I want to like see people throughout the week, right? Because like with what I'm currently doing for work, there are some days I can be virtual or I'll be home in the evening. Not enough where I can go take a drive out to Schaumburg, but if people are going to be in kind of an area closer to me, I want to be able to see people for a little bit if possible. That, of course, could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it happened twice last year. I met up with two different groups at a certain Lego store.
Yeah.
So it's happened before, right? But then in terms of Saturday, I want to get there super early.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like see if someone wants to even just grab breakfast. Like I'm talking about like early. I want to get there early, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
I just want to be there so I can get in. And I just want to bounce around throughout the day. Like I really just want to show face. That's kind of my goal. It's gonna be bad because I'm probably not gonna be able to have that many in-depth conversations, but I want to be able to say hi to the people that I'm not sure if I'll see them next year, just in case their schedules won't work out or what. Um, so that kind of thing, right? I want to be safe. Be safe. Safe. Why am I using safe? I want to bounce around though, and then um yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna work it out, but I want to be around BRICKWORLD most of that Saturday, so hopefully I can
Yeah.
find a way to like purchase. I know the last year they were selling Saturday, Sunday like
Yeah.
passes, like extended Saturday passes.
Oh, nice.
Uh, I'm gonna see if there's any way I can get an extended Saturday pass and be like, look, I've come to this convention 9
Yeah,
years,
I'm
like
sure we can make something happen.
we can make something happen. We can
I
definitely make something
am
happen
sure
for
we can
Richie.
make something happen.
But if I'm able to stay post public hours on Saturday, that changes the outlook drastically, gives me hours more to see people. Um, but my plan is really just to go around and show face, and check out the mocks, but I'm really there for the people, which
Yeah.
I mean sounds
Yeah.
bad, but I want to see cool mocks, but I
How
also want to
dare
see all
you
my
care about people? Be gone with you.
But how about you? I got to hear
Yeah.
you have the schedule, you know what's going
Well,
on.
I
You
just
give me the
saw
rundown. What does the CPA schedule look like?
Republic Bricks dash Timmy said Brickworld Chicago gonna be insane. Are you
Is that actually him?
are you planning on going to Brickworld Chicago? Republic Bricks dash Timmy? I haven't seen you in chat yet, but I'm just curious, hanging out in the chat.
I don't know if that's
Ex-
actually him.
yeah, I don't know who
I just
Republic
think because I've
Bricks
never
is,
actually,
but
I don't know. It could be him.
um
I'm not trying to hate.
yeah. Hey, I think everyone
Well,
should
that
go
actually probably is
to
him.
Brickworld
What up,
Chicago.
Timmy?
So Republic Bricks dash Timmy, I'm curious if you're gonna be there. Because I know, yeah, it's just for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people that I don't recognize the name from last year, but I think, like I said, a lot of people on the fence are just showing up and they're gonna be there. And so, man, it's so exciting, so exciting. But yeah, so let me go to if the stream doesn't die, because last time where I shared things, the stream did not like it one bit.
It's all
So
my. Oh, that's a great point. It's all my fault for the pictures. Baby Richie.
I'm not, yeah, because we're like dropping frames and all that stuff. I'm dropping frames, not you, not you. So I'm gonna pull up the registration page, and then we can walk through. Okay, so it looks like, oh sweet, it is him, and Republic Bricks dash Timmy will be there at Brickworld Chicago this year. That's exciting.
That's actually crazy.
It's cool.
Timmy,
Like,
there's some lore with Timmy. I actually remember I found out about him in 2017, and dude was doing these like, I don't even know how he did it, but he was doing these like Instagram live streams where he would sell stuff. He was doing Whatnot years before Whatnot.
wow, that's crazy.
Um, I never bought from him. Just I don't know. I never because I didn't have Instagram until like
Mhm.
2018. But yeah, so I used to watch the. Well, I didn't ever watch the streams, but he was doing Whatnot before Whatnot,
That's
so it's
crazy.
pretty cool. So we'll
Business
see you there,
mogul.
Timmy.
Business mogul. But okay, I've got yeah, I'm just, and like you said, people that I wouldn't have, like, that you wouldn't expect to be there. Like, you might turn a corner and just see someone that you've seen on Instagram once or twice. So it's exciting. All right, I'm trying to get the event. It's not, I'm already registered. Okay. I'm not going to say this isn't the most intuitive website, but it's not the most intuitive website. I guess it's a C event thing, because you have to go in and like modify your registration. So I'm gonna try and do that real quick.
Oh, like to see, like there's, if I can be honest with you, CPA, for most years, I would never know what events were actually happening when until I got like the actual like catalog, like the
Yeah,
BRICKWORLD little
yeah,
like pamphlet. And then I was able to see what is happening at one time where. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Oh, hey, real quick while he pulls that up, for anyone that's going for the private days, get the little pamphlet, and when you see the schedule with all the events and at what times, have a Sharpie on you or a pen and circle what you're interested in.
I'll
It
do you
makes
one
it
better.
so much easier than
I'll do you
running
one
from place
better.
to place.
Download, if it properly zooms, download the C Events app.
Never mind, there's an app, sorry.
Download the C Event app, and you can actually add it to a schedule. And you can kind of check. And I believe if you do it on the website, it will sync with your app. So there's some intuitiveness to the madness. And okay, so something that I did, unfortunately, or should I say didn't do, is I didn't buy the brick badge, which I don't remember how much it was. I think I just saw, oh, I'm already paying $100 for the ticket. I don't want to buy the brick badge too. But are they $5? Are they $15? I feel like
I don't remember. I have one. Do you want mine? You can be like, I was at BrickWorld 2019. I'll give you that. You can have the Unk status.
Goodness. But no, I'm gonna try and do one better, because what I want to do is have everyone who wants to, because I did leave, if you remember seeing the back of my shirt, I left it open because I want to have, if I can I turn around on this thing without breaking it? I want to have people sign the back of it with the Sharpie. So I
did that too.
Yeah, so I want to have as many people sign the back of my polo and have it be like a BrickWorld 2024 polo. So I think that's going to be fun. I think that's good.
I have Emendar on here, Kevin Hinkle, Rich Boy J, D Tenaglia, the Brick Rookie, H2 Brick. Tons of people.
Yeah, this, in case anyone is curious, this is a 1-of-1 shirt, so you can't find this anywhere. All right, let's get that. Let's get this window capture up real quick. Sessions. Okay. So this is, and we're gonna, honestly, up until Thursday, it's really just like some mixers, display setups, orientation, some icebreaker challenges, blah, blah, blah. So honestly, nothing too crazy until we get to foosball, which I'm not in that. I missed out on the, Bricklink. Oh, I do have it selected. Bricklink Designer Program AMA. I'm super excited about that one, actually, because I have become very much a fan of the Bricklink Designer Program over the past year. And we're dropping frames. I'm dropping frames, but that's my fault because I'm sharing a screen. Apparently, my computer doesn't like that. But Connect the Brick, I don't know if the app sends you notifications. I imagine you can set it up that way. And Kathleen, yes, these are all the convention events.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that the people who actually choose the Bricklink Designer Program sets are going to be there, because I want to interview them and ask them, like, what is the actual process for how you choose these sets? Because I really want to know. I think it would be fascinating. Teen Meetup Scavenger Hunt, Mad Libs, from bricks to a college scholarship. Interesting. Lego lighting. Nice. Lego Masters panel. That would be fun to just kind of see. I'm not huge into the Lego Masters personally. I don't know if you are. Veteran AFOL Brickworld cosplay roundtable. Nice. Okay, and then we are almost into, okay, June 14th that's Friday, right? Yeah, June 14th is Friday. So we got display setups, nothing too crazy. Another Brickworld Masters panel. Oh yeah, they're doing like a brick film theater challenge, which is interesting.
They've been doing that.
Yeah, I figured they had been. Nothing too crazy. I'm just trying to get to Friday because that's kind of when everything really goes down. Another Bricklink Designer AMA. If they tell me no the first day, I'm going to ask them the second day and be like, you will tell me what I want to know about the Bricklink Designer program. So there's a lot of the same panels are on Thursday and Friday. So it's kind of like.
Well, that's new.
It
used to be like a lot of like one-time panels usually.
Yeah, no, there's for better or worse, a lot of doubles. So, you know, it gives
nice
people
though, actually.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I thought last year there was like a LAN. If you want to be in LAN, come to this panel. But oh, here we go. Recognize Lego fan media ambassadors only. Oh, there's a LAN meeting that is closed to the public. But I'm going to select it anyways. They can't stop me now.
Will wants to go bowling with me and TJ. And then I was like, Will, I love doing by the way, if you couldn't tell, guys, I love doing vlogs, podcasts, and live streams. As long as I'm not the one behind the camera or the one vlogging or the one. As long as I'm on my channel, I will do a fantastic job on your podcast. I will be an entertaining part of your vlog. I will do a great time. But you want me to do it? Hell no. Get out of here. Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing Brother from Another Brick.
Yeah, is he going to be there again this year?
Yes. Awesome. BFAB like actually changed my channel's trajectory forever. I say it all the time, and he's like, I think he's kind of like, dude, you can chill out. But like, again, I made the ideas, I did this and that, but he was like, dude, like you gotta like make actual videos, and I did, and then now we're here.
Here we are. Let's see.
I can't wait.
So here's Friday. We've got the Lego Masters panel at 11 to 11:50. That's kind of the first thing that stands out to me. Lego Fortnite live stream. I mean, I might have to take that over if I'm being completely honest. Influencer alley.
Are you
stage.
Going to
that? No, I'm probably not going.
Bandit. Hey, Ant Bandit is one of those guys that I met last year that like I had heard of him before, but I never met him, and then we met at BRICKWORLD, and like super cool dude. Ant Bandit is awesome. Have you met him?
No, I haven't actually. Oh, Ant Bandit. Okay, yeah. Now he's so on the, and I'm gonna say it properly just because you're here, Ant Bandit. On my web review of the Lord of the Rings Barad-dûr set, I made on our live stream when we looked at it, I made comments on like all the people who are pronouncing it all over the place. And so the title of the live stream, the CPA-fol episode, was how to pronounce Lego Lord of the Rings, the tower. And so that's hilarious that he's in chat now. That's funny. But yeah, he was one of the videos where I was like, yeah, you pronounced it wrong.
Bringing us together.
It really does, which is so cool. Like I would never expect to see someone that's like, oh, making review videos for Beyond the Brick. Super cool. Let's see. Build a space mech with Lego Master Dom. I might have to stop by there. I actually have it selected. So I met Dom at BRICKWORLD Grand Rapids with Firebird, which is cool.
Oh, one thing I am excited though, unfortunately with this BRICKWORLD, I won't be able to be there the full time, but I'm hoping to go to some other BRICKWORLDs in the other parts of the Midwest this upcoming year. So it's one of those things where it's like, again, I'm missing out on Chicago, but because of a different situation with myself, I'm going to be able to go to another BRICKWORLD or two. So
awesome.
It works out. In some way it does, right?
Absolutely. And I think Grand Rapids has the potential is the one that I'll be going to in the fall with Firebird Bricks and a couple other people from the WM Lug. It's it's super chill. It's just it's awesome to go to those smaller ones. So very excited for those. This one could be interesting. Lego Star Wars first 25 years. Sean. Oh, that's Sean the Right Way.
That's gonna be a sick one.
I think so. Here's another lore dump.
Yes, give it to me.
Republic Studs was supposed to be. There was something where Republic Studs is supposed to host something, which I think I don't follow him a lot or at all, I should say, but I feel like he would be a really good host because he's got the energy, and I think he could command the stage presence along with that energy and do a really, really good job, even if you don't watch his content or find his content in and of itself that entertaining, or if, I'm not the age demographic that he's making content for, but I feel like he could do a really good job on the stage in that respect.
I'm a big Republic Studs respecter. We connected originally through like the history of Lego YouTube video I made, and I was kind of giving like an unbiased take towards like the new wave of YouTubers, like with like the faster wave of editing. Well, not new wave because they've all been doing it for years. The new content style they had adopted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I know he's close with like Micah Nike and Will Bricks Productions. They know him pretty well, so that kind of just like got me closer with him. He's a great guy. And he obviously his channel now is like a lot of like kind of like the fast-paced content. But I don't know if you know this, Lego CPA, that man had uploaded like 2,000 videos of just straight Lego Star Wars talk, reviews, news, commentary, everything. So I mean, I'm a big RS fan. I like him a lot. So I'm excited. He's one of those people I'm excited to meet too. So sorry, I'm sorry.
Sure.
More lore.
No, we're here for the lore. Cooper was dropping the lore emoji, so definitely worthy of it. So the garage sale. I did not go to the garage sale last year, but I will be very excited to go this year. Do you know how they're changing it up this year? Have you heard the rumors of what it's going to be like this year?
Yeah, TJ explained it to me, but I kind of forgot already. I know it's like there's like 4 different rounds and then everyone goes in.
Yep. I mean, basically.
I went to the yard sale last year and I walked around and I was like, I can't do this, so I left. And like I left the convention that night too. I was just like, this is too much for me.
So it's not really your speed essentially, because you're not necessarily hunting for stuff.
At this point, also in my Lego life, I'm really like not like selling my collection, but up and like really like calming down on my displays.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I don't know if you know this, CPA. There are like a handful of people out there, maybe even like quite a few that think I don't own any Lego. Just because, all my content is all like I show commercials or I show photos of sets. Like, I think people are shocked that I have sets. Like, I have sets, guys.
That's funny.
Even when I'm talking about sets that I have, I prefer just to show images from Google. It's a lot easier. But what's it called? Yeah, I'm just not really in the mood to like buy a lot right now. And like the few sets I do want are on shelves. So I'm not going to be going to the yard sale. But if you know what's going on, I'm sure you're interested, especially in some Bionicle or old Star Wars. What's on your wish list?
Yeah, I honestly, because I've kind of really haven't purchased a retail Lego set since like January.
For real?
Like since January, I've only bought a handful of CMF sets or boxes. So I really have not purchased much of any retail sets. And partially because I'm at a love loss for retail sets and they aren't really doing it for me with largely Bionicle. I mean, I've been purchasing so much Bionicle and just doing so much with Bionicle in general. So that's eaten up kind of my internal Lego budget. And then on top of that, getting into the Bricklink Designer Program, which is like $200+ per set. That is kind of the range that I'm looking at. I'd rather spend $200+ on a BL or a Bricklink BDP set versus 50, 50, 40, 20, 50 on Lego sets in store. Now that's not to say I won't buy any, because when some of those Speed Champs and Lego Star Wars sets that have, the exclusive minifigs like the Tantive Hallway, definitely will be getting those on discount of like 30, hopefully 40% near the end of their runs. So I don't really have my eye set on any like retired set. Now, like you said, yeah, Bionicle, if there's a Bionicle set that's there, sealed would be best, or just a huge lot of parts where I spy something good in those parts that I don't have yet. That will be something I'll be on the lookout for, which I hope that no one else is on the lookout for. Or if it is, it's like Firebird and I forgot to mention, I don't know if you're familiar with Brickmaster Harry.
Yeah, about that. People have been mentioning his name in like my comments, but I haven't heard of him or like really looked into him. But I'm pretty sure you guys are friends, right? Or like, I feel like I saw you do a stream with Firebird and him. That's like really my only kind of experience with him.
Yeah, that's kind of our connection through Firebird. And no, because he largely did short form content and just like, check out this Lego set that I got, or I got this set from BAM. And it's an older Lego Star Wars set that maybe you haven't heard of before. Here's kind of the functionality. And then he started getting into more long form content and video essays. So he, in the last like 8 months or so. So I'd recommend checking out some of his videos. He's had some, I don't know if he's got a deal with the devil or something, but like his first video essay popped to 100,000 views in like 2 months.
What?
So you should check it out.
I wish.
And it's a mix of talking head and commercials, kind of like you do. So stuff like that. So I would
like this.
Yeah, no, this is stuff that you would definitely appreciate, respect, and learn something from, whether it's Lego history or just maybe a different way of presenting information. And he has worked a lot with Firebird in kind of harnessing his ability or skill to make a solid long form content video. So definitely check some of his videos out. He's another person.
Is he gonna be there?
Yeah, he will be there for the whole week. So I think I might be picking him up from the airport when he gets in. So we'll see how that goes down. But
introduce me to him, CPA.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%. So he's another person I forgot to mention that I'm excited to meet. So I think it's and I guess I didn't count him because we talk from time to time. So him, Duck Bricks, Shy Time, I think are probably the top 3 that come to mind immediately.
Wait, you didn't meet Shy last year?
No, I didn't. I just didn't know who was who. So
that's fair. You were also only in this for a month. So that makes a lot of sense.
Oh my word. Yeah, so and even thinking about, we're moving on to 24, but there's so much of 23 that we didn't even cover, and just like the whole host of a whirlwind of so many things happening, meeting so many people, just making so many connections. Even just the connection with Sean and ACOB was a huge connection to kind of getting into the community. Being on the podcast a month or 2 after I met them at BRICKWORLD, so that was awesome for 2023.
Oh, yeah.
But 2024, go ahead.
What was I going to say? I already forgot. Oh, no. That's bad. But, I had something really good to say. You go. Sorry.
I was just going to talk about the garage sale, so that's kind of lame.
Yeah, what's the garage sale lore? What's going on with this year?
I mean, it's just, you going in waves, and I imagine when enough people get what they want and leave, and if there's not a ton of people left over, they'll just let everyone else in. So we're getting a garage sale. Oh, snap. Connect the bricks. CPA, I have a sealed Paraka Stronghold if you're looking for sealed Bionicle. Wait. So here's a lore dump on the Paraka Stronghold that I'll confirm in 1 second. So the Paraka Stronghold, just kidding. Nope. So I was basically going to say there were a couple of Bionicle playsets where there's a chance that there's a $500 piece inside of the set if you haven't opened it yet, because near the end of the run, they were changing from flat dark or dark pearl dark gold to pearl gold. So if you got one sealed near the end of the run, it has a very, very expensive piece in it. But I digress. Okay, garage sale. So yeah, I'll be paying attention, just largely looking for Bionicle or any sort of deals like that in the garage sale.
And Star Wars.
I mean, maybe not even Star Wars. I'm kind of having a little love lost with Star Wars too. It's really weird, honestly, but I just don't get that same joy that I used to. So, Lego Masters panel, that should be fun. There's a Lego YouTube. Yeah, here we go. Official Lego YouTuber panel. Wait, Logan is Republic Bricks, right? Logan
is Republic Studs. Okay. Timmy
Republic
is
Studs.
Republic Bricks.
Yeah, that's I meant Republic Studs. So he is the host of excuse me. He is the host of the official Lego YouTuber panel, which hosts or has creators such as Acob, Danny Bob, Tiago, Duck Bricks, and Half Asleep Chris. So that is Sunday at 1 to 1:50, which I'm looking forward to that one.
Hope I'll be able to, maybe I can make it out there for that. I don't know.
That would be so much fun. I feel like the
I think I have to come
half
Sunday.
It's going to be fun even for just that little bit, just for that panel, because I feel like it's not going to be completely packed. So there's going to be enough wiggle room to be casual with it. So the first, quieter, 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes are going to be professional. Everyone's going to be sitting there answering questions. Then I feel like once they start handing the mic out to the audience to ask audience questions, it's just going to go completely off the rails, and it's going to be so much fun.
Give me your top 5 worst Lego YouTubers.
Yeah. Drop the
which
YouTuber
had the saddest fall off?
Oh my goodness. So that's it. I mean, I know it was a quick scroll, but really that's it as far as events goes.
I've been wanting to host an event. I was gonna do one last year, but then by the time I thought about it and tried to actually do it, it was way too late. It was gonna be about like the unlicensed themes of like the early 2010s, late 2000s. You know how much I love that. CPA. That's my bread and butter. Maybe I'll talk to Fleet about that. Be like, hey man, like you want to get me, you, some other people together and do like a little like unlicensed Lego panel? I don't know.
For real.
We'll think about it.
I mean, I'm trying to get a little Bionicle fan meetup together just to see what happens.
There aren't many, y'all, but
I know. Well, that's the whole point. Keep it small.
Is masks of power coming?
I don't know.
You know who they are, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't point them out in a crowd, but I know the initiative. That would be really cool if they came. I haven't seen anything on Facebook or Instagram, so I think unfortunately the Bionicle presence is going to be very small this year. So me, Brickmaster Harry, Duck Bricks, Firebird Bricks, we're going to have to really hold down the fort in the Bionicle realm because, and if you saw my reel today or YouTube short today, anyone in the chat, my little like Met CPA gift is going to be handing out Bionicle, and here I'll go to the main screen. Bionicle Quest for the Mask trading cards. So these are from 2001, and they have, little characters or masks. So you could get any one of these, a mask, a colored mask, or a character as well. And I just think it's a fun little thing, mainly because a sig fig is a little harder to come by, for better or for worse. But I thought that would be a fun way to kind of build some hype for Bionicle and send, people from all ages away with a little bit of merch, and just, something that would catch their eye and have them remember me, remember their time at BRICKWORLD, most importantly, remember Bionicle. So I'm very excited for that. Did you have any like stickers or anything like that made for last year? Anything that you handed out? No.
Nope. I'm not even. It's not even because I'm cheap. I'm too lazy.
Oh yeah.
I had some sig figs to still trade away that I had ordered the pieces for in 2016. So I took my sweet time trading away my sig figs.
Nice.
But this year my presence is the present.
Oh, absolutely. That's worth the price of admission, honestly, probably for the whole week. That's why I'm going.
Honestly. Yeah, no.
Whew. Squidman, unfortunately, there's not a Squidman Bonk card because that was a future iteration of a Bionicle set that they hadn't made yet. So there won't be any of those. It's just the main Toa and then some mission cards and stuff like that. The other thing that I'll kind of be bringing and showing off a little bit, just to give everyone another tease, on top of the cards and the polo is, and I'll go back to the main screen again, is these, you can see in the back, I have the 3D printed Great Kanohi Miru and then the Kanohi Hao Bionicle masks. So we'll be bringing those two. I'll also be bringing a mini version of the gold Hao, which, I have some 3D printed filament left over for this, so I might just give this away to someone. Yeah, so my brother 3D printed this one. He's a 3D printing wizard, so he was able to get this one done pretty quick. Mm-hmm. I did have a company over in China does 3D metal printing, and I thought, what would be really cool if I had a metal Bionicle mask. So I have right here, this is a metal Bionicle Miru. So let me get my face out of here. So I have this metal Bionicle mask, and you'll be able to see it better on stream because I'm holding up to that camera instead of... So I still have a little bit of work left to go on this thing, but I think it is well on its way to being super shiny, super buffed, so smooth, and I'm very excited for how this has turned out so far, knowing that it's not even done yet. And there is some chance to get some like gold tinted lacquer paint on it, so it could even turn into a gold Bionicle mask. Mm-hmm. Lastly, one more. Because I was able to get 2 masks 3D printed, I thought I could not miss an opportunity to get 3D stainless steel printed the Mask of Life, the Bionicle Mask of Life.
That's sick.
So this was 3D modeled by someone on Thingiverse, and it's not as actually. Do I still have the mask? This is like
3D printing lore.
Exactly.
I love it.
So the real version of this mask is $300, and I actually do have it in my collection, fortunately. So I'm gonna grab it real quick just because it's literally right over here.
Subtle flex.
All right. So this mask that I'm about to show is $300 because it's quite rare in the pearl gold. So there's that. And then here, so you can see it's not as the 3D metal printed one has more angles on it just because of that's how the 3D print or the 3D model was created. But I think for a like quote unquote real mask, it adds more character, adds more angles to it, and it's just kind of I don't know, I think it looks cooler being in real life. So I've got a little bit more work to do on this one, making it a little more buffed up and shiny. But I mean, if I left it as is, I think that's really cool. So you know how some people they have they're zoom in the wrong way. They have their
I love
neck.
like the gritty, like it looks like you can like see like the marks on it, but it like makes it look really cool in my
I
opinion.
know, because it's like you don't want it to be
It
too
has
buffed up.
detail.
Yeah, it's
It's
got
like real.
personality and it's just
Yeah.
super crisp. And this one so far has turned out a lot better than the other one, just because it it allows for that gritty detail. So I'm super pumped with how this turned out so far. But you know how some people at BRICKWORLD, they will they'll have their kind of necklace of a Lego set or whatever. I want to get like
Yeah.
chains and have one or the other like as a chain and walk around BRICKWORLD like, oh yeah, I got this one just hanging around my neck. So
You have to.
I'm
You have to do that.
still figuring out what I want to do there, because I could just even having this one, the people that know.
No, do the silver one. The silver one would look great around the neck.
Dude, but this thing is like almost a pound. This is pretty hefty, but I
I'll wear it then.
want to I can defend people, if I have to. But no, certainly, Scooper, I'm going to be iced out for sure. So I think they turned out really well. I've got about like, I don't know, 3 hours of sanding on this bad boy, and then about, I'd say 5 hours on the other one. So I have a little bit more work to do over the weekend, but I wanted to show you all this on the stream. Really excited how those turned out So, okay. Oh, how have we not talked about the World of Lights? Because I didn't get to see those last year.
Me neither.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's an annual thing that they do every year, that they have done every year, or
yes,
more or less. Well, there you go. I'll see it this year, but apparently it's
World Lights I like. I don't know. Usually I'm like just exhausted by that time.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I'm kind of just like ready for some alone time at that point, with the public day and all that.
Absolutely.
So maybe this year I'll stop by, but last couple years I haven't gone.
Yeah.
Or if I did go, it was like relatively short. But you should go. You need to go.
I'll definitely go. I'll head to there. I will already be there for it. I'm not staying on site for a hotel, but I will be literally just around the corner. So if I have to go home, it's literally like 4 minutes away. So
exactly.
I'm sure I'll be leaving at like 4 a.m. each day. I'm ready. Literally, I'm ready to stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. or later, whatever it takes. This is, let's see, tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. I'm trying to get the best sleep I've ever gotten because I need to be ready to go for BRICKWORLD Chicago.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm running on minimal sleep, and it's just, it's going to be so much fun.
It is.
Wow. How long have we been going?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Are we hitting 3? Are we gonna maybe?
At this point, we might as well just round it out towards 3. This might be one of the longer CPA-fol podcasts because normally when I'm doing a long podcast, it's just because we're looking through an endless number of idea sets or Bricklink designer submissions. So this is like one of the first longest ones where we've actually covered substantive topics, which is awesome. But we'll squeak out. I think we can squeak out 20 more minutes or so.
We're almost there.
But
we're almost.
What was it? Yeah, so late nights, is that something you were a part of a lot last year? Because I know if you're in the area, or you probably went home each night, and it sounds like you had to drive upwards of like 40 minutes to get home. So
not that bad, thankfully. But what's it called? Like the one I stayed in person actually in 2019, and so why did I not stay? So 2022 I didn't stay overnight because 2022 I literally signed up like the day of, right? 2023 I was gonna go stay in person, but I ended up doing a summer school class that was like virtual and at night, and I was just like, yeah, I could do it from like a hotel room, but like I'm not going to be doing the homework. And obviously, it's
Yeah.
summer school, so it's accelerated. And then this year, obviously, just with working and all that, I was going to try to like stay Friday or Saturday night, but then with just some stuff that popped up, I wasn't able to. So I mean, I'm a real big believer that I mean, even if you live close, if you can stay in the hotel, like do it just because like again, it's a lot easier to just walk up to your room or walk across
Oh
the
yeah.
street to another hotel to the room versus having to get in the car. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Oh
and a
yeah.
lot safer too.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like next year I'm planning on staying at a hotel. That's the
Oh,
plan.
sweet.
So I've done it before and low key it was a good move.
Yeah.
I was planning on it for this year actually. So if
Mhm.
possible, stay as close as you can.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yeah, because next year for me, and it'll depend how Mrs. CPA feels about it. If she feels like it was worth the time, just because she's
Mhm.
100% gonna have a much different experience than I will, just because of this is obviously my thing that she is wanted to come along with, which I greatly appreciate that. Obviously, it's awesome. But if she kind of decides, oh, next year maybe I'll just come for 1 or 2 of the days, whatever. We'll see about that. So that could change, like if I get a hotel on
Mhm.
site. But I think as of now, I'll plan next year to get a hotel on site right away because I definitely pushed off getting a hotel, which
Yeah.
was a bad thing. I always knew because I did have hotel points from work. So I knew
Mhm.
I was going to not stay on site that time just because I was able to save some hotel points.
Mhm.
But yeah, it'll be next year will be on site into it so much more than I already am this year. But late nights, 3, 4, if we're going to bed before 2 a.m., I feel like something's wrong. The vibes are off if we're going to bed before 2 a.m.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
if I have a weekend where like Grand Rapids, Brickworld Grand Rapids, when I was hanging out with Firebird and SW Fan Room, I think we stayed up till 3 a.m. and it was just 3 of us. So if we're not going to bed after 2 a.m. at least, it's something's wrong.
Did
Tyler
you go to
says
Friday and Saturday for Grand Rapids?
yes. Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. And Tyler said, once I scrolled down to it, sleep from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. Get ready and be back down by 8 a.m. Heck yeah. Ooh, let's see what the
It's gonna be a
poll's up
lot of
to.
Monster and Celsius consumed, that's for sure.
So for the poll, we've got 64% saying yes with 39 votes. So that's about, I don't know, 25 people going that have voted so far, which is awesome. That's a lot of people. That's really
That's
cool.
crazy to me. I still can't believe like a couple years ago it would have been like opposite. It would have been like majority are not going.
Yeah.
Minority is going. Now this is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I meant to ask you this question,
Mhm.
and we kind of alluded to it earlier. Are you doing a suit this year? Because that might impact if I do a suit on Saturday. Because I think Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll wear the polo or something else. But Saturday, I don't know. It's like it's the day. I might have to.
I
I feel
think
like
I
I might.
might. I think
You
I might
might.
wear my blue suit.
If you
What's it
do,
called?
I
But I
will.
want to get I want to get some different shoes just and because like I don't want to wear dress shoes
Oh,
obviously. So
heck no.
I'll probably just go.
Yeah.
I need a pair of Air Forces. I'll probably just wear some white shoes, like white gym
Yeah.
shoes, and
I mean,
bring out
that's.
the blue suit
Oh
again.
yeah. So Shy is in the chat now. He's driving, being safe, I'm sure. Hey fam, hey everyone, just lurking while driving. See you all in a few days. Super, super
What's up,
excited to
Shy?
see you, Shy. Hey, I don't know if you heard Shy, but you're on my top 3 list of people to meet that I haven't met before.
He's gonna find you. He's going there and is like, I need to see Shy.
See, I forget I haven't actually met Tyler yet, so he's also on the list. But
Wait,
like,
you've never met Tyler?
so last year, Brickworld 23, Tyler
What?
was literally at the table. I forgot his name, his real name, and I don't want to be like, just because at that point it was like middle to second half of the day, so I was kind of getting comfortable with talking to Ryan, talking to Josh, talking to Sean, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I
Are
was
you
literally
light?
standing right next to him, and I didn't want to be like, hey, Life Bricks, how's it going? Good to see you. Because he had been on a couple of Ryan's streams prior to that. And obviously, I 100% know it would have been fine to say, hey, Life Bricks. But I think it was just because I was standing there racking my brain trying to remember what his name was, and I couldn't, that I was like, okay, well, if I can't remember his first name, like, next year. So, and then, something else probably happened, and it was just super busy. So I didn't get back around to it. But, he was at the Whatnot table most of the day selling stuff.
Oh, there was a
stuff.
Whatnot table last year.
Yeah, next to the
I forgot.
Mega Store. Yeah,
Is Whatnot still a thing?
Yeah, I'm
not trying to be a hater. I'm just curious.
They're probably bigger than ever, I think. Just because their capital investment right now in their marketing is just bonkers. Like, they're doing so much with their marketing and advertising and getting creators to do streams and stuff like that. So they're going crazy on that aspect of it, which means it's pretty big right now. So I can only imagine they will be a sponsor and at BRICKWORLD in the same or a bigger aspect than they were before.
Oh, Stud Lake has a good question. Top 5 people you want to meet at BRICKWORLD this year. I feel like you kind of gave 3 or so, but I feel like you can get 5 out.
So number 1 is definitely Duck Bricks because of the Bionicle connection. Definitely want to connect with him on a few things and just ideas and future possibilities with Bionicle. For those of you who have seen his stuff, last year he was able to go to, or was it earlier this year? Maybe it was earlier this year. I feel like it was last year. He went to Copenhagen and met Christian Faber, the co-creator of Bionicle. So I want to spend a good chunk of time talking to him about his experience there with that and just what, some of the stuff he's got going on. Super excited to hear about that. So he's got to be number 1. Number 2, just because Shai's been a huge help over the past year with me and just tips and tricks, stuff like that. Shai's number 2. Number 3, Brickmaster Harry, just because we spent a lot of time talking over the past couple months, so it'll be good to meet him in person, finally talk to him. And then let's see, that's 4 would be Tyler, I'd say. Oh, Brickfleet's definitely in there.
Yeah, I was about to say, when are you going to mention Brickfleet?
So it's like Tyler, Brickfleet, Brickmaster Harry. They're kind of like all in the same boat of like people I've been talking to for the last year. I just haven't met them yet. So, so that's kind of my top 5. And is there anyone you haven't really met yet? Because I feel like you've been going long enough.
Yeah, plenty. Still,
Really?
It might be hard to find 5, but I want to meet Brickfleet.
Oh yeah,
that's 1. I want to meet Republic Stud, and I'm not ranking like, I need, I'm just saying here's like the 5. Brickfleet, Republic Studs, London Bridge Bricks.
Yep, you said London.
And I'll leave the last 2 for people that I haven't met yet. But I'm gonna meet them.
Brickmaster Harry.
I'll throw him in there. I'll go watch his content. You'll after you meet him for the first time, you can bring me over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like a day after, be like, I know I just met you in person finally, but here's this guy.
He's super chill.
Oh, and you said he's close to the Firebird, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I want to see Firebird more. I didn't really get to see him because last year that man was locked in for content.
He had his
his interviews.
Christophsis mock there, which was crazy.
That was cool.
He is one of the people where I was there, he was there. We should have talked. Objectively, we should have talked, but we just never crossed paths. And when I was at the Megastore, he wasn't there. When he walked by the Megastore, I wasn't there. So, and then of course we've become really good friends since. So it's just hilarious that we both were there in the same vicinity and never met. But then we met on an ACOB podcast. Tyler was there. You remember that, Tyler. We met on an ACOB podcast and then have been friends ever since. Met at Grand Rapids again, stuff like that. So it's crazy the people you meet after BRICKWORLD Chicago and you just didn't even know the connection you probably should have had. So it's funny. It's funny how things work out.
It really is.
So,
Wow.
how about people in chat naming your top person? You can say top person that you're looking forward to meeting at BRICKWORLD Chicago in just a couple of days. Hey, Squidman, you're on the list though because you're now a channel member. So I definitely want to have a CPA firm member meetup. Is definitely happening. We're gonna get a picture. It's gonna be awesome. So that definitely will be happening. That has to be happening. And yeah, Cooper's gonna be there. Scott would be number one, but he's not gonna be there for whatever reason.
Oh,
so I'm kind of disappointed.
I'm looking
in
forward to seeing Cooper, Mrs. CPA, Oaktown, all those people.
Is Oaktown going?
I think so.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it's just weird, like all these people that you see their names. So, but you don't really, you just know their names and you've never seen their face. That's the funny. Those are the funniest parts.
Exactly.
Brickman McStuds says, was way too nervous to talk to anyone last year, hoping to become lifelong best friends with someone this year. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen. Best case, I wouldn't have changed that at all. Nice. Oh yeah, meeting. See, we got a couple more minutes. We're gonna hold out till the 3-hour mark, and then we'll wrap it up.
Which
So we've got
socially brain dead.
got a couple more minutes to go. All because Tyler had to post on his channel, and we inadvertently apparently agreed to it.
We're what, 5 minutes away?
Yeah, we're pretty close. I think I started right at 8. Squidman,
Unless
Tyler,
someone
Sean,
wants to
Brent,
take
Ryan.
over for me.
What was that?
If someone wants to take over for me, I can leave and keep going for another 2 hours.
Yeah, no, if you got to go, feel free. I can take it over for the rest of it. But thank you so much for chatting on BRICKWORLD.
I used all my social battery, and now I'm
I know you had the lore, dude. If there was anyone I had to go to for this, it would have been you, and it obviously was, because you've seen it all firsthand. I mean, I couldn't think of anyone better to go to. So super glad.
Stop it! Stop.
Super glad that you were able to hop on the stream today, right before BRICKWORLD Chicago. Man, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, and it's gonna be an amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's
show.
It's gonna be overwhelming, but a good overwhelming.
Dude, see Cooper says get Tyler the login, and it's actually just this is just a Discord call. We're not even in. I know the setup is so good that it looks like StreamYard, but this is my prowess on OBS, which is actually why why the stream failed in the middle, because it is OBS. But I know you thought this was StreamYard. It's just Discord. So, and if we were only at like an hour and a half, I would invite Tyler in, but then it would go for like another 2 hours. So we'll have plenty of time. I'm sure I will do some impromptu streams at BRICKWORLD. So it's gonna be something else, and I'm looking forward to it. But Richie, if you want to drop, feel free. And yeah, no, we'll see you in a week or so at BRICKWORLD Chicago.
Yeah, I'll see you next Saturday, if not sooner. Get the stream to 3 hours. Everyone, I really enjoyed talking Lego BRICKWORLD lore with y'all. I'm sorry I'm kind of hitting the wall here at the end. The Celsius is empty and is not hitting. And be on the lookout for some great content, and be ready for the time of your life, guys. But it's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
CPA, thank you again for the help.
100%.
Or for putting me on the stream.
Dude, go to sleep, man. You look absolutely zonked.
Yes, yesterday was also my birthday. So we have
happy belated birthday. Absolutely.
Thank you. So, I'm starting to feel my 22nd again, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Absolutely. Well, you have a good night's sleep, and we'll see you next week, dude.
Take care, folks. So let's get this stream to 3 hours, and let's get this to 30 likes.
Dude,
3 away.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna switch the screen just because I don't want to leak our DMs. Don't want to leak those. Alrighty. Whew. Well, now I can close Discord and hopefully the stream will get some frames back. We're dropping those frames left and right. You know, we'll put the old music back on while we queue out the last couple of minutes. And before we do that, I will shamelessly plug. You could become a join member today, at this very moment. I know 5 of you were lucky enough to become join members as a result of Angry Canadian and his amazing contribution to the channel. So, but you also have that option. It starts at 99 cents. It's very, very cheap. Helps the channel. But I feel like more importantly, it stands you out in the comments. You get that green name in the comments. You get that fun little symbol. Actually, I created those myself. I didn't download a pack from online. I actually created those myself, the gradients and the bricks and stuff like that. So, hey, if you want to stand out more in the chat, you can grab that membership. A lot of fun. Tyler's saying 72-hour road to Brickworld stream. I don't think I could. You're crazy, dude. You're absolutely crazy. Oh, Stud Cities, thank you so much for subbing. No, it's yeah, definitely at the very least, it costs you absolutely nothing to become a subscriber of the CPA channel. So that is 100% free. But if you just want to give that little extra, get your name shouted out in streams, get your name highlighted more on the channel, that is certainly available to you through that through that venue. So all you would do is you click join, of course. I'm sure you all know how to do that. So just wanted to throw that out there if you hadn't considered it already. And of course, I did want to show off the shirt one last time. This pattern, like this kind of zigzaggy pattern, there were several patterns that were available. I just thought this one was super cool. It's kind of like a soccer jersey, sorta. So I really, really love that. See if I can, let's do this. Ooh, look at that. I should have had it this way the whole time. That way you guys can see the shirt. But this is what we're working with. Make sure you be on the lookout for me on the public days. So because I have the the hotel right around the corner, I do, of course, have the option to be able to go to the hotel like whenever I need. So if I want to change into the suit, I can go change into the suit. That option is there for me. I know, right, Stud City? It's the Argyle pattern, and this was just one of their stock patterns. They had a couple of patterns, but this was just the one that kind of stood out to me the most. And I thought, man, this thing's like so cool. So it's kind of got that crispy design. I love the arm printing. And this is just all literally printed directly onto the shirt. This isn't like a heat transfer. It's not a patch. It's literally just designed into the shirt. Really, really good job that they did. I was very glad how this turned out. But Squidman says, are we ever going to get a CPA name reveal? Well, if your attention to the lore, if you've been here for a while, you already know that. I know you know that, Squidman. But man, I just have to show off these one last time. The two, if it focuses on them, I think it's not doing it because of the light. Let me zoom in a little bit. I wanted to show off these bad boys just one more time. See, sometimes the camera doesn't like to focus on them because the light, it doesn't know what to do with all that reflection. See, it knows what to do with it there. Stop it. Okay. No. No. Yeah, no, it was great. Oh! Did I show you guys the Bionicle trading card mat that I created? I don't think I showed anyone that. But, I mean, we're getting really close to 3 hours. We're over 3 hours. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by this week for the CPA-fol podcast, one of the most legendary podcast episodes we have ever had on the channel. So I'm very happy how this one turned out. I knew Richie, dude, he was going to be my man. He was going to be the way to go for me. Super excited for BRICKWORLD Chicago this year. Man, I literally cannot say enough about that. Super excited to meet everyone. Just all around, it's gonna go. Cooper, I'm super hyped as well. I cannot wait. So, and thankfully, I do have technically Monday and Tuesday off work, so I've got 2 days to prepare, mentally get ready for this. So, don't want to belabor the point too much or overstay my welcome. So I want to thank everyone who stopped by. We had 132 people in chat tonight, and might be a record, honestly, I would probably have to say. The other one being the one with Firebird, and then that one Bionicle designer I also had. But I'm super hyped, super excited to see everyone there. Willbricks, Cooper, Squidman, Scott, I know you won't be there, but Tyler, of course, Stud Sidious. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping in chat. Cannot say thank you enough for your time you've devoted tonight. And I hope you all are hyped and ready to go for BRICKWORLD Chicago. One last time, make sure you like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we're not going to see you in the next video. We are going to see you at BRICKWORLD Chicago. Thank you, and good night.